It's Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Tuesday, October 7th. Your top story, deciding not to run for governor.
I'm Jessica Tighe. A somber anniversary in Israel.
Some afternoon sunshine today after the morning rain, high of 65. Clear tonight, cold, a low of 39 degrees, 47 near the lake. The sun returns on Wednesday with a high of 60 degrees. 65 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:01. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, Decision, Wisconsin. Attorney General Josh Kaul will run for re-election.
Kaul will seek a third term, ending speculation that he was planning to run for governor. He was first elected as the state's top law enforcement official in 2018 and won re-election in 2022. While in office, Kaul successfully pushed the state Supreme Court to strike down the state's abortion ban this year that was put back into effect after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The general election will be held in November of next year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
The Trump administration is warning of no guaranteed back pay for federal workers during the shutdown. That would be a reversal of what's been a longstanding policy for some 750,000 furloughed workers. A new memo being circulated around the White House right now says legislation that the president signed in 2019 does not require back pay. It says it's up to Congress to provide those funds. The move is widely being seen as a negotiating tactic.
President Trump says there was a real chance of a Gaza peace deal as Hamas and Israeli negotiators held indirect talks on the second anniversary of the October 7th attack. Commemoration ceremonies have been taking place across the region as well in other parts of the world. CBS's Haley Ott.
We're here in Hostage Square, which has been a gathering place for Israelis since that attack 2 years ago. Events are organized here for later this evening. If people have started to gather, maybe you can hear people are singing their sound checks every once in a while. People have been stopping by to visit with one another and offer one another support all day because today is a very somber day.
Meanwhile, top leaders are meeting in Egypt to come up with a plan that would end the war and release any remaining hostages.
Here in Wisconsin, school district electors in Sun Prairie vote no confidence in their superintendent.
I don't know the answer to that, but I think more information is probably going to be better than less.
Parents say Superintendent Dr. Brad Sarin has eroded their trust over a lack of transparency about an investigation into the former Sun Prairie West High School Dean of Students. Robert Gilkey Messigeyer faces 2 counts of child sexual exploitation and 13 counts of possession of child pornography. The no confidence vote could urge the Board of Education to take official action against the superintendent. Jessica Gatzo, WTMJ News.
Hey, if you need a ride to Game 3 of the NLDS, you can hop aboard the Brewers Express. Brewers are partnering with Amtrak to get fans down to Wrigley for Wednesday's game. President of Business Operations for the Brewers, Rick Schlesinger, tells WTMJ, I don't expect some peace and quiet in the quiet car.
We're going to have T-shirts and rally towels and bratwursts, and we're going to have the mascots join the train, go down to Wrigley Field and root on the crew. So it's kind of a fun opportunity for us to, try to invade Wrigley Field, if you will, and bring some of the, hometown to Chicago and hopefully cheer on a victory on Wednesday.
And the Brewers Express scheduled to leave downtown about 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. A stop at Mitchell along the way. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A lot of red here this afternoon. The Dow is off about 125 points at 46,570. NASDAQ down $1.50 at 22,793. And the S&P 500 off about 25 today at 6713. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
The Brewers are one win away from advancing to the NLCS. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
News sponsored by Ellie Mental Health. Visit elliementalhealth.com.
The Mental Health Minute.
Have you recently been told the wait time to see a therapist is 6 to 9 months? Well, we think that's ridiculous, which is why you won't hear that from our team. I'm Dawn from Ellie Mental Health in Waukesha. At our clinic, there's no wait list. Large hospital systems often leave patients stuck in limbo for months, but we get you connected with a qualified therapist quickly because your mental health shouldn't be on hold. Unlike online platforms that match you with whoever is available, limiting you to chats or short video calls, Ellie Mental Health offers personalized face-to-face care with licensed therapists who build genuine relationships. Our therapists take time to understand your goals, your challenges, and what actually works for you. You deserve real therapy without the wait and compromises. We're here for you at Ellie Mental Health. Let us help you find a therapist you can vibe with and take the first step on your path to improved mental health.
This has been the Mental Health Minute. Get started on your mental health journey today at elliementalhealth.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
What makes Hasselus mattress different?
Aside from employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery and haul-away, and way too low prices on Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper?
Yeah, besides that.
Well, Hasselus is locally owned.
You mean your franchise is locally owned?
We're not a franchise. Every showroom is owned and managed by the same family.
So,
when you shop at Hasselus, your money stays right here. And through Monday, our family wants to give you a $248 credit towards a new Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper just for shopping local.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Our 43 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
I like that.
Try and buy with no pushy sales guy.
I love that.
Free next day delivery too.
Thanks.
For what?
For being different.
Shop local and enjoy a $248 credit through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find a no-hassle, employee-free showroom near you at hasselus.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Milwaukee Brewers are one win away from advancing to the NLCS, powering their way to a 7-3 win over the Cubs Monday night.
Valencia's 0-2 pitch, and a fly ball to center. Hit well. PCA's back at the track. Wall, gone!
Lane Grindle with the call last night. Jackson Churio's 3-run home run in the 4th inning breaks the game open and allows the Brewers to go for a sweep of the Cubs Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley. A 4:08 first pitch. Going to be kind of chilly with temperatures somewhere in the 50s. Meanwhile, the other NLDS matchup, the Dodgers hang on to beat the Phillies 4-3. LA 1 win away from advancing to the NLCS. NFL football last night. The Week 5 of the NFL season closes out with the Chiefs losing to the Jaguars 31-28. Bucks pick up a win in the preseason over the Heat 103-93.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We do have one disabled vehicle down in Racine County that is causing a little bit of a slowdown. It's one of those transportation trailers. One of the trailers that's got, I can see 2 cars on it at least. Probably has 4 cars that it's taken somewhere to some dealership. It is broken down and off the road on the ramp from County K to 4194 North. That is in Racine County, 4194 North, County K. As we get closer to the Milwaukee area, I am seeing in our construction zone our typical delays on 41. But as we go north in Milwaukee County from that, 4145 south at the ramp from Wisconsin 145, the right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down there. And I am seeing delays build.
Well, some morning rain, some morning cloud coverage. Starting to see some sun, which is a good thing. A high of 65 degrees today. Chilly tonight, a low of 39, 47 near the lake. Wednesday's high 60 degrees, mostly sunny and cooler. Thursday, sunny and a high of 62. Friday, partly cloudy and a high of 65. Weekend looks great here. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 73. No rain in sight. It's currently 62 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
Well, if you don't like the Brewers, you may not want to listen to today's program. We hope that you do enjoy the Brewers and do enjoy this program, because a lot of Brewers flavor, and why not? Milwaukee 1 win away from advancing to the NLCS for the first time since 2018 when they faced the Dodgers. Oh, by the way, the Dodgers are 1 win away from knocking off the Phillies and advancing.
You cannot beat this time of the year. October baseball in Milwaukee. The Brewers are extra hot, hotter than a lot of people thought they were going to be. This is the time you show all the highlights. You play it over. You get people revved up. We have so many fun events coming up to watch the games now that they're down in Chicago. And this is a time when maybe some of you who aren't the biggest Brewers fans, I don't know who you are. There aren't many of you, but you jump on the bandwagon.
And great opportunity to get to Chicago as well. We've got updates on that throughout the course of the day today. It's 12:10 here on WTMJ.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Happening now, a public hearing is underway in Milwaukee on authorizing the use of cameras to enforce traffic violations. They're currently prohibited under state law. That hearing is going on at the Summerfest building. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson is in favor of adding red light cameras to the city. He hopes it will cut down on reckless driving.
I also would like to be in a position where we didn't need to have something like this. It gives me no pleasure to be in a position to be championing something like this. But unfortunately, there are too many people that are out there who make really, really poor decisions, and they put themselves in harm's way, and they also put the greater public in harm's way.
Senator Dora Drake explains next steps if the cameras are approved.
When this bill would be signed into law, the fines don't happen right away. We'll be partnering with DOT and the city, and there'll be signage of where those cameras would be set up. And then on top of that, then say you were running late for work and you did the most and you were going 20 miles an hour, you would get a notice in the mail. You wouldn't get a ticket right away.
So today's public hearing is unique because it's not happening at the state capitol like most would. It's here in Milwaukee, and this is the first time community members are getting a chance to speak up on the issue. WTMJ's Neil Doyle is there now, and he'll join us coming up at 1:15 with Community Reaction.
President Trump facing legal challenges as he plans to deploy troops to cities across the country. Governor of Illinois is suing to block the White House's plan to send National Guard troops into Chicago. And the president appears determined to do so. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
The president also said yesterday that leaders in that state, in Illinois and also in Chicago, they're claiming that they have the situation with crime under control, but he said that that is not true, and that is what is justifying his actions of sending that Texas National Guard troops into Chicago. We've also heard the White House say that the president has authority, that he can do this. Of course, there have been setbacks when it has come into legal cases.
Yeah, Karen talking about the president considering invoking the Insurrection Act. Meanwhile, a federal judge has blocked the Trump administration's efforts to send National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon.
Never doubt the power of Brewers magic. That's the message from the team today after last night's incredible win. The Brewers beat the Chicago Cubs in Game 2 of the NLDS. Final score, 7-3. Up next for the Brew Crew, Game 3 down in Chicago. First pitch coming up tomorrow at 4:08. That's a much nicer time than that 8:08 last night, right?
It was a long day to wait and get you ramped up. I mean, it was great to get through, dinner and getting the kids back from practice and all that kind of stuff, right? You sort of decompress and settle in. But at 8 o'clock, I like to decompress. I don't like my anxiety level to build and my heart to just really start pumping like it did last night. Calm down eventually, but man, oh man, what a ride.
Oh my gosh, and what a start again. So we've got first pitch tomorrow down in Chicago at 4:08. The Brewers are teaming up with Amtrak to take fans down to Wrigley on the Brewers Express, a.k.a. the Hiawatha train. Brewers President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger right here in Wisconsin's Midday News.
We're going to have the mascots join the train, go down to Wrigley Field and root on the crew. So it's kind of a fun opportunity for us to try to invade Wrigley Field, if you will, and bring some of the hometown to Chicago and hopefully cheer on a victory on Wednesday.
Yes, let's invade Wrigley. It's like tailgating at the train station. There's going to be a DJ at the Milwaukee Intermodal Station. The famous Racing Sausages will be there. So will the Brewers 4-1 Force. The first 300 riding fans get free brats. Brats for breakfast.
Yeah, about 8 o'clock in the morning. That sounds
good.
about right.
I could do like a brat burrito. Something like that sounds good. Second stop on the Brewers Express is the Milwaukee Airport. Bernie Brewer and Barrelman will jump on the train there.
Hopefully more of this as well.
Kicks and deals. Slider struck him out. Uribe strikes out the side. He puts it in the holster, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead in the division series. The Brewers bullpen retires the last 15 batters in a row. And the Cubs are on the brink as the series shifts to Chicago.
Now at noon, sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Check them out online. Visit flanners.com. It's sound advice at the best price. Flanners. Just press play. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek here for Flanners Home Entertainment. Does the audio and video system in your home need an upgrade? Well, Flanners has all the solutions and the installation experts to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases. You go with locally owned Flanners, where quality service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Stop by Flanners in West Dallas, Grafton, or at flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scafidi here. Are you a member of the State of Wisconsin Pension Program? If so, you may have questions about your benefits and what they mean to your retirement plan. Join me along with Annex Wealth Management Director of Financial Planning Eric Strom and Senior Financial Planner Tom Burkholz on October 21st at 3:30 p.m. We'll discuss fundamentals, like how to look at your statement, and go deeper looking at case studies that may help relieve concerns and answer your questions about WRS. That's Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30 p.m. Register now. Visit WTMJ.com or events at annexwealth.com.
A pretty nice day today. The sun is starting to shine, high of 65 degrees. Chilly overnight low, 39 degrees inland, a little warmer if you're closer to Lake Michigan. Tomorrow's high just 60 degrees. You should see plenty of sunshine. Sun returns on Thursday with a high of 62. Partly cloudy on Friday with a high of 65. Back into the 70s here for the weekend. 61, mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:17.
Called Amazon's biggest sales event yet. Prime Big Deal Days are back. Shoppers are on track to spend nearly $10 billion in just 2 days. But behind those record-breaking numbers, economists say there's something interesting happening with how Americans are spending and what it might say about the economy heading into the holidays. ABC's Jim Ryan joins us from Dallas. Jim, I feel like we already had this. How many of these do they have these days?
Two every year. Prime actually started. Prime Days began 10 years ago, and Amazon decided that a little of a good thing is good, but more of a good thing is even better, and so they've doubled it up, and it's so far working for Amazon, but not just for Amazon, but also for other retailers. This morning I went on to Walmart.com to see how they were responding to these Amazon Prime Day events, these Prime sales. And indeed, Walmart has its own big sale going on. And not to be outdone, Walmart says, hey, ours isn't just 2 days like Amazon's. It goes 5 days. So they're trying to get a jump even on Amazon.
Who wins? The consumer, right? You go to one outlet and the prices are dropped and slashed all over the board. And then they go to another outlet online and the prices are going in the same direction.
Well, exactly. And if you don't find what you're looking for on one, just jump to the other. Go over to Target or go over to one of the other retailers. Walmart and Target, of course, have the added advantage of selling groceries at a discount. And so, Amazon kind of got the jump on this, but now the others are trying to catch up.
Jim, Amazon's calling this year's Prime Big Deal Days a record setter, possibly nearing $10 billion in sales. That's a lot. I feel like this is something somebody is going to ask on our text line. Are people truly spending more? Are higher prices just inflating that total?
Well, undoubtedly, it's a little of each. And what's more, people are taking advantage of something called Buy Now, Pay Later, BNPL, as it's known in the industry. It's expected that about $20 billion will be spent that way between now and Christmas. And that's primarily younger consumers who are doing that, folks with limited income, I suppose, and those who say, no, I really want this, but I'm just going to buy it essentially on layaway, although you get it up front and then make payments. But there's peril in that. Psychologists say that if you're using buy now, pay later plans, it's easier to spend more money than you intended to in the beginning, and sometimes more than you can afford. So, you purchase maybe 3 or 4 different items instead of one because you're doing it on a BNPL plan, but you got to be very careful. Make sure the installments are paid on time.
See, Jim, I look at this, the timing of this Prime Deal Days as a precursor to the holiday shopping season and Black Friday. And some people, procrastinators, like to feel the rush of buying everything last minute, or they're holding out for the day after Thanksgiving. Well, this offers an opportunity to maybe kind of spread out that holiday spending, which also appears to be headed toward a record high.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It is a good way. I mean, we're 12 weeks away from Christmas right now, 12 weeks. So if you start making your list now and doing a little bit of shopping now and kind of spacing it out, you're right. It can be, a bigger Christmas than it might have been otherwise. But, just be careful about spending and overspending, overbuying, and ending up in trouble.
With Greg talking about the holidays, it makes me think about Black Friday and Cyber Monday. It almost feels like days like this take away from that a little bit now.
Well, or they build into it. Cyber Monday is still the biggest cyber shopping day of the year, the biggest online purchasing day of the year, and probably will be for some time. But I think Amazon is trying to space this out, just as Greg is talking about, trying to space out its own shopping and its income throughout the rest of the year.
Did you buy anything today, Jim? Right, I am looking at a bunch of different stuff here. Nice toolbox on sale. You got a Shark vacuum, about 58% off. It'll run a mapping sequence in your kitchen for you. Keep that nice and clean.
Well, the New York Times has a great list out here, the 37 best white elephant gifts that you can purchase at a bar and under $25. And some really, kind of cool and interesting things. Chopstick holders that look like little pieces of fruit and vegetables that are for holding chopsticks, and they're about $15 or so. Pot holders and crayons in a box. The Mud Puppy Andy Warhol soup can crayons for $19. So white elephant gifts, you can stock up on those and be ready for the party.
Okay, or practical stuff. I'm looking right now, 35% off professional level teeth whitening. Everybody's always looking for a deal on that, right?
That's a good one. Teeth whitening.
All right. Enjoy shopping, Jim. That's ABC's Jim Ryan on Amazon's Prime Big Deal Days.
See ya.
Good stuff. Jim Ryan joining us from ABC. Coming up next, hey, everyone's so busy keeping kids off drugs, they forgot to tell Grandma and Grandpa. We'll explain after this.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns. It's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
What a great story Horicon Bank is, doing banking differently since 1896. Greg Matzek here. Let me tell you about it. Horicon Bank was founded by inventors and fueled by community. Go back to 1896 when Horicon Bank first opened its doors for people who were going to work. They needed a community bank, and Horicon Bank was born right there in Horicon. Well, now Horicon Bank is starting to pop up. You may have seen it and noticed here in New Berlin and Menominee Falls, spreading into southeastern Wisconsin. But they've not lost that community-minded approach. They understand what it takes to get your business off the ground, to keep it up and running, to maintain and exceed its cash flow needs. Horicon Bank offers financing requests in days, not weeks. Nope, your banker at Horicon understands you and your business. Just need to get a loved one up and running with their first savings or checking account. They can help you with that too. Debit cards, you know it, Horicon Bank. They've got the stuff you need, they got the stuff you want, and incredible people to help service you. Horicon Bank is truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Vince Vitrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Still time to remodel ahead of the holidays. In the Vitrano home, we're going new hardwood floors before Thanksgiving, and we can get it done because we're working with this local family-run business, Hunt's Flooring. It's Phil and Tony and the team over there always looking for great deals on carpet, vinyl, and hardwood. They buy when the deals are hot, they pass the savings on to you, and they've got everything in their own huge warehouse on Highway 100. Hunt's is ready for your project as soon as you are. Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield, huntsflooring.com.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
Well, everyone's so busy keeping their kids off of drugs, they forgot to tell Grandma and Grandpa. Cocaine. Yeah, a new report of the UK finds a rise in Class A drug use, specifically cocaine, in people over the age of 75.
They're calling them the silver snorters.
The silver snorters. Cocaine. That's right.
Jeez.
The report finds that in the UK, there is a rise in Class A drug use, and it goes back to a study done in March of 2023 into 2024. The report found that 8 people over the age of 90 went to the ER to seek medical attention because of cocaine use. The silver snorters, defined as anybody over the age of 65, battling with their issues with the drug. The investigation into elderly drug addiction picked up some steam after a granny who went by the name Gangsta Debs. Not making this up.
Ridiculous part.
Well,
Gangsta Debs is a silver snorter.
And she's serving 20 years. She was taken into custody after allegedly running a $100 million drug empire. And she had everybody involved, right? She had nieces and nephews and granddaughters. It was quite a ring. And her family were her workers. Gangsta Debs is currently serving 20 years in prison.
All my grandma had in her purse were some Werther's Originals.
Those were delicious, by the way. You could also count on Grandma to have some Kleenex stuffed up her sleeve, kind of stuck in her watch a little bit. Grandma, where'd you get that from?
Oh,
it
my
smells
grandma
like
didn't
your
have
sweater.
That. Oh, geez. Here's the thing, though. Okay, so we laugh a little bit because you dug up this song that I don't know the lyrics to, but it's so fitting. But drug addiction experts are a little worried about this. They say some people experiment with cocaine because they have more disposable income as they get older, fewer responsibilities, more free time. You think about grandma and grandpa. But they also say others may be using it as a way to cope with loneliness, bereavement, or the mental health challenges that can come with aging. And then you also there's a little bit of concern as well that you might have some of these elderly people who are returning to a habit they had in their younger days.
Well, there you go. Generational, right? So adults in their 70s and 80s were maybe in their 20s when drug use was more common and socially acceptable. But the stats are the stats here. 8 patients in their 90s, 28 in their 80s, and 70 between the ages of 75 and 79 to the hospital with some issue related to cocaine. Crazy.
And then did you see there's this guy, the 71-year-old, he's a Canadian, Ronald Lord. He was just jailed, actually just last month, for 6 years after he tried to smuggle a bunch of drugs into the UK with his mobility scooter.
Well, there you go. Right, just hiding stuff in the tire. That's what you do, I guess. Well, be cautious out there. And now about your house. It's where you live, but do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home, living beyond the wall. Your imagination may be somewhat limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
I'm confident that 90% of the listeners can look outside their home and dream of a better, nicer, way more outstanding backyard. If you're one of the many, you'll need to call Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited's expert team can design a beautiful, functional, usable backyard space. Then our team can build it. You dream it, we build it. New deck, outdoor kitchen, pavers, retaining walls, screen room. How about a must-see automated pergola that doubles as a screen room? Picture this, a pergola that allows the sunlight through the slats, but with the press of a button, those slats close and now you have protection. Another press of the button and the screens roll down. There's your screen room. The ideas are endless. We recently built a brand new deck with a screen room pergola on top and stairs that lead to a paver oasis complete with a fire pit and seat walls. Amazing. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, automated pergola. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build the amazing backyard. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
See all the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page, or visit their unique outside-in showroom in Waukesha. And if you're looking outside of your home, dreaming of a more beautiful and functional, usable backyard, well, Outdoor Living Unlimited can design and build you an amazing showstopper of a deck, patio, complete with pergola and fire pit, just like they did for us. With expert care, Outdoor Living Unlimited installed a beautiful paver patio, complete with land and stone retaining wall, all sorts of space, room for a built-in kitchen, and complete with a gas fire pit. It's where we spend all of our time. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com. It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, considering red light cameras in Milwaukee.
I'm Jessica Tighe, using local business to curb gun violence.
Afternoon sun, comfortable temperatures, high of 65. Clear tonight and chilly, a low of 39 degrees. Sunny on Wednesday, a high of 60.
I'm Michelle Franzen. Senate lawmakers expected to vote this afternoon on another round of stopgap measures. Both parties, though, remain at odds over health care cuts in the GOP megabill on Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act premiums. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Republicans are missing in action on talks.
This fight is about the health care of the American people.
House Speaker Mike Johnson was asked why there are no discussions with Democrats on restoring health care cuts.
You keep the government open, and then we have those discussions.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer meantime, says President Trump needs to get involved in talks to end the shutdown. Today marks 2 years since the October 7th attacks in Israel. Nearly 1,200 people died when Hamas militants attacked civilians in southern Israel. Hundreds of others were taken hostage. Israel's war in Gaza after the attack has led to more than 67,000 deaths. The summer-like temperatures across the country dropping back to fall-like temperatures in the nation's midsection this week. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. A key endorsement for a bill to install red light cameras in Milwaukee.
The Safe Streets Save Lives Act would guarantee 5 red light cameras per aldermanic district at the most dangerous intersections in the city, capturing anyone going 15 miles and over the speed limit or running through red lights. Mayor Cavalier Johnson says he wants to make communities safer.
I also would like to be in a position where we didn't need to have something like this. But unfortunately, there are too many people that are out there who make really, really poor decisions, and they put themselves in harm's way, and they also put the greater public in harm's way.
Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
The red light camera legislation includes a 30-day public awareness campaign. State Senator Dora Drake and her sister station, 1017 The Truth.
When this bill would be signed into law, the fines don't happen right away. We'll be partnering with DOT and the city, and there'll be signage of where those cameras would be set up. And then on top of that, then say you were running late for work and you did the most and you were going 20 miles an hour, you would get a notice in the mail. You wouldn't get a ticket right away.
Senator Drake says the cameras would also help local law enforcement identify reckless drivers in vehicles with no license plates. WTMJ's Neil Doyle will join us with community reaction from the public hearing coming up at 1:15.
Recruiting local businesses to help reduce gun violence. That's the goal of a project at Guns Down America, a national campaign for gun safety. Executive Director Hudson Munoz tells WTMJ.
What we're doing is organizing 300 businesses in the Great Lakes region to come together around a common pledge to invest in the local community, to source from other small businesses, and to take an affirmative stand that there won't be weapons allowed in stores. Harassment won't be tolerated.
Munoz says the project encourages shopping local because research shows economic opportunity is one of the most effective ways to improve public safety.
The Wisconsin Department of Justice is asking a judge to pause a voter citizenship verification order.
The order would require elections officials to verify the citizenship of all registered Wisconsin voters before the next statewide election in February. This comes after 2 suburban Milwaukee voters filed a lawsuit in August 2024, arguing the state Elections Commission is failing to investigate unlawful registrations. Wisconsin law requires voters to certify that they are U.S. citizens, but does not require election officials to obtain proof or require voters to present any. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Well, we decided to develop our own mattress line just, I think, purely from a quality standpoint again.
We wanted to go the opposite way the industry was going. The industry was cheapening things, and we didn't believe in that.
Ben and Arvid from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
The entire mattress industry has gone to one-sided. We still believe that a two-sided is going to last you longer. You can get more comfort out of it.
5 years from now, 10 years from now, I want them to look back and say, wow, I bought that a long time ago, and I'm still really happy with it. That's true in our mattresses. It's true in our furniture.
PennyMustard.com.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Unfortunately, it's not too early to start thinking about those upcoming heating bills. At Hometown's huge New Berlin showroom, you can compare energy-efficient windows from Anderson, Pella, Marvin, and more. Like me, you'll get a dedicated project consultant to guide you to the products that best fit your home, style, and budget, along with employee carpenters who respect your home. Do what I did. Contact Hometown Windows and Doors today. Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. 414-329-1200 or online at hometownwindows.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-859-3220. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-859-3220. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 1-800-859-3220. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-859-3220 or biglou.com.
Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Tune in this Sunday to hear my full interview with new physician Dr. Damrow. To learn more or to make an appointment, visit orthowisconsin.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gerber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers need one more win Wednesday. Their next opportunity against the Cubs to sweep Chicago and earn the right to play in the National League Championship Series. 4:08 the first pitch on Wednesday afternoon from Wrigley. Brewers are off today. 2 games on the playoff scoreboard today. The Blue Jays will advance to the ALCS with a win over the Yankees. Series between the Tigers and Mariners tied at 1 game apiece.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Still dealing with its disabled vehicle in Milwaukee County and just a rough spot right now. It is 4145 south at the ramp from Wisconsin 145. You've got a disabled vehicle there. At one point, the person was outside of the car, which always makes me a little nervous because that is dangerous, and we definitely are seeing a significant backup. So heads up there. We were also seeing, and let me see if we continue to. Actually, it's getting a little bit better on 41 in our construction zone. Not as bad as it was. So, hey, we will take that. Near the Shorewood area, I-43 north at Keefe. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that just broke down a few minutes ago. Not seeing a backup there, though, so hey, we will take that. Also, dealing with this one yet, a disabled vehicle on the ramp from County K to 4194 north.
Well, the morning rain is gone. Some afternoon sunshine here with a high of 65 degrees. A little cooler near the lake. Overnight low 39 degrees. Tomorrow's high 60. Under sunny skies, 62 the high on Thursday. The sun returns, partly cloudy on Friday with a high of 65 degrees. 62, mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:38. Brewers.com writer Adam McCalvey covers the Brewers expertly. He's done so for a couple of decades. He remembers what happened on this day in 2011.
Morgan, a smash up the middle, base hit to center. Here comes Gomez around third. A throw and the Brewers win.
Nyjer Morgan walked off a win for the Brewers, defeating the Arizona Diamondbacks in the NLCS. The Brewers would advance to play the Dodgers in the NLCS. One of the greatest calls in franchise history from Bob Uecker, the incredible Bob Uecker. One of the greatest games in Brewers history, that game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. I was there, and I know Adam McCalvey was as well. Jessica's waving a rally towel in our studio. Hey, Adam.
Hey, that was so cool. I remember talking to Nyjer Morgan after that and being like, do you understand that you're now like a part forever of the history of a franchise? I always think that that's like one of the most incredible things. From the Cubs side here, Mike Montgomery got the last out of the 2016 World Series, and that was like one of the little sidebars I wrote. And it was the same thing. Like, no matter what happened for the rest of his career, he ended this epic 100-whatever-year drought, and he's on a highlight forever. So Nyjer was really cool and very appreciative of, I think, being a part of that moment. And that call is great with you.
One of the incredible moments after the game came with Nyjer and Doug Melvin in the Brewers clubhouse. I was there for this as well. Nyjer, for some reason, had like an army cap on. Right? It was just like a He was wearing a helmet, like you'd wear if you were paratrooping or something. And then there was a picture of Doug, whose hair was kind of disheveled, wearing his suit and his sleeves rolled up, and they were grabbing each other, on the shoulders. And I think Doug had his hands near Nyjer's cheeks, and they just had this incredible moment. That was a kind of a pickup that the Brewers didn't know would become what it did because of injury, but Nyjer Morgan stepped right into Brewers lore on 2011 on this day.
Can you name who the Brewers traded for Nyjer Morgan right on the eve of that season?
Who left the organization?
Son of a famous big leaguer, Cutter Dykstra, who is also known as the husband of Meadow Soprano of Jamie Lynn Ziegler.
Wow.
That's your fun fact of the day.
There we go. Well, you never know what to expect from Adam McCalvey, but it's always good.
So we're talking about...
helmet, I was just going to say, that helmet was SWAT. Remember they called themselves the SWAT team because that was such a good offense? And the helmet was the SWAT team helmet, and that's why he ran around in that thing. And that picture with Doug Melvin is incredible, and Doug is still watching the Brewers very closely, and a big part of like what they've even built now. There's still some of the fingerprints of where this organization kind of turned around. Doug Melvin still has some of the fingerprints on that, so he's enjoying this too.
So talking about some incredible moments of the past, but man, let's talk about these incredible, epic moments of today. Last night's game, so many awesome moments. Can you walk us through the Game 2 pitching plan that was so detailed, it actually included Quinn Priester warming up as a decoy?
I loved that. There's like, these teams know each other so well. These managers obviously know each other so well that there's like no secrets left, but there was some secret or some question about how the Brewers were going to navigate the pitching. And because we saw Quinn Priester come in behind an opener 5 times during the regular season, and because if he had done that yesterday, it would have allowed him to pitch on 4 days rest in a potential Game 5. I really thought it was going to be Quinn Priester as well. And I think the Brewers thought, the Cubs thought that, because they sent Quinn Priester out there. If you were watching the game before the game, watching Aaron Ashby warm up, Priester was also warming up. And I think they wanted the Cubs to think he was going to come in the game. And then he stayed out there for the entire game in the bullpen.
Oh, I love that.
Even though he was never going to pitch. Now, did that have anything to do with the outcome? Did it have anything to do with Craig Counsell's decisions? I can't really see a spot where it would have impacted anything the Cubs did, but I still love the effort, and it shows you, like, these clubs are looking for every tiny, tiny little crack that they can exploit. And Quinn Priester, when they brought it to him, he was like, I don't know if this is going to make a difference, but whatever, I'll go sit in the bullpen. And it was a unique experience for him, and now he'll start Game 3.
Well, and he had done that at times throughout the regular season, so logic pointed to this idea, and now you get one of your best starters going at Wrigley. So I had thought maybe there would be a bullpen game somewhere along the line of the NLDS, Adam, and I guess Pat Murphy wanted it to be at home versus on the road. That makes sense to me. Craig Counsell messed up his lineup a little bit to account for the lefty that he thought was going to turn into a righty. And then you just saw different pitcher after different pitcher after different pitcher come out, and it turned into that bullpen game before our very eyes.
Well, the key to it all was Mizorowski, right? And there was some question about whether he would be on the roster and then what role he would play. My understanding is inside the walls of the stadium, there was no question. They felt like this guy is a potential weapon, that the power stuff plays in the postseason because everybody's a little bit amped up. And obviously you saw last night where he tops 104, which was just completely ridiculous. But he threw strikes. And there was a moment where he walked, I think that we were talking about this morning, the second batter of the game that he faced. And like, that's that moment where in his last couple of weeks, things kind of went sideways. A walk, a call he didn't like, and the Brewers certainly had some of those last night with ball strikes. But Mizorowski would kind of come unglued a little bit. And he didn't last night, and that was really important because it sets up, like, all kinds of possibilities moving forward, including for, maybe a Game 5 if it does go that far, or the Brewers hope that doesn't happen, obviously, and you can kind of pick your spots for him in a best-of-7 series where you just need more pitching. And getting through this best-of-5 with this weird extra off day is no problem when you have they have 2 starting pitchers right now. But once you get into a best-of-7, it becomes a different animal, and they're going to have to do some things differently. Certainly Mizorowski's innings, even if they're not at the start of games, are going to be really important. So to unlock a little bit of that yesterday was critical to win the game, most importantly, but also for whatever comes next.
Yeah, man, the Miz hitting 100 miles per hour 31 times in his first postseason game. That's just incredible, and I can kind of visualize he was just like, yeah, and his mouth wide open, fist pump. He was so excited. Can you take us into the emotion of not only the Brewers and how high they are right now, but maybe the Cubs as well? Because I'll be honest, I didn't know who the guy was exactly, but towards the end, as I was still watching, I believe it was Crow Armstrong. All of a sudden, you could see he was like throwing stuff in the bullpen, and he was not happy. And I imagine a lot of his teammates are feeling the same way, though I have a feeling that this guy might have a history of that.
Well, I think just generally that can change so fast. And how many examples can Brewers fans think of where a series has turned on a dime and the vibe is completely different? So, look, historically, you go up 2-0, you're in a very good spot in a best-of-5 series. The Cubs will have to win 3 in a row. That's very difficult to do. It's not impossible to do. It's happened. So I guess I think everybody is going to try to go into this little workout today at Wrigley and obviously go into the game tomorrow feeling like nothing's settled. I still have to play the same game. I'll say from like Milwaukee's point of view, there were so many questions about what would they look like coming off of that bye. That's everybody's like biggest worry in this relatively new format. And every team has all these different strategies for it. The Brewers didn't bring fans in like other clubs did. They did their own thing. And you wondered, like, what was the offense going to look like? And the answer in 2 games, kind of incredibly, is it looks like the August Brewers. Like, somehow they have snapped back into this. So, you know, credit the guys for the double in game 1 to start the bottom of the first. And then Andrew Vaughn yesterday with just a massive homer, his first in more than 6 weeks. Incredible timing to come up with that and tie the game and kind of reset everybody, and the Brewers took off from there.
That was huge.
So, Adam, you know, the crazy thing about what the Brewers were able to do in game 1 is it was just, you know, paper cuts left and right, a double here, a single there, an infield hit, an error. I mean, right, just a collection of things. And it's like, how in the world? They scored 9 runs without hitting the ball over the fence. And then they come back yesterday after the Cubs are saying, well, we got the home run team. The Brewers don't have the home run team. You know, Cubs fans are thinking that's somehow going to play into their favor. And all of a sudden the Brewers' long balls come out of nowhere and all with 2 outs. Like that is such a major subplot to the story is that all of the Brewers' runs were scored with 2 outs yesterday.
It to me shows you kind of the improbability of October. And when you get into, you know, we went into this saying, look, the Brewers have had all this regular season success and they deserve credit. But I know there's a big contingent of people who really feel like it doesn't matter because you haven't won in the postseason. And I think the people who play the game would say that that's a bad way to look at baseball because October is so uncertain and you cannot predict what's going to happen because these series like yesterday, hinges on Andrew Vaughn connecting with one pitch in the right situation for this huge moment that completely changes a game and maybe a series. That's the way this works in October, and it's why it's kind of just a lottery once you get in. That's why the Brewers fight year after year to get in and then see what happens. So that to me was one of the takeaways is like they won in game 1 the way they'd won all season long. Then they won game 2 a way that they rarely won all season long. And those 2 wins count exactly the same. And what's going to happen in game 3? I have like literally no idea. Absolutely no idea.
Well, right.
Nobody does.
Because the first 10 innings,
wait to see.
Who thinks
right.
they do is wrong.
It's because the first 10 innings were just completely coconuts. Like there's no way to predict what's going to happen in this series. It's been nuts.
And that's true like in all sports. You know, we watch sports because we don't know what we're going to witness. That's what makes it fun. Nothing's guaranteed. It just seems like it's more true in baseball. Who had the Dodgers winning 2 in Philly and going back home to LA up 2-0 in their series? I think that's improbable as well with a team like Philadelphia that's deadly at home in their ballpark. So that's why you get in. That's why that I don't even want to say the phrase bite of the apple because it gets people fired up. But this is the argument for that philosophy is just get yourself in and see what happens.
So as we wait for game 3 tomorrow, late afternoon down in Chicago, I'm kind of curious as far as the team because Wrigley is so close. Did some of the guys jump on a bus? I mean, is the team there now? Do they head there today? Do they head there tomorrow? What's the plan in between this time here?
They had buses that went down last night. There are so many people involved with families and staff and everything. I heard there are 9 total buses, and 6 of them went down last night, and 3 of them went down this morning. And then, I don't know, for the players, it probably all went down last night. For the staff and kind of the extra people, they got to decide. And so they're here. They're going to work out. You can hear the music because we're getting a bite to eat before the gates open. They're going for a workout. There'll be press conferences today. If the little drizzle here holds off, they'll be able to take BP, get not that they're not familiar with Wrigley Field, but you just want to step foot out there on the grass and get that feeling again before you play a game tomorrow. So they'll do a workout and then game on tomorrow.
Adam, meanwhile, will be signing autographs at the Raising Cane's, which is pretty close to Wrigley Field.
You're signing
I can't believe
autographs
you
again?
Gave away I cannot believe you gave away my location, Greg. This is crazy.
Chicken tenders and fries.
Major security risk.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Can we get one more in? I was just thinking this as we call you for this one. Can you explain, because it's a little inside baseball, there was one moment where one of the Brewers players last night picked up an imaginary phone and then put it down. Do you know what I'm talking about?
William Contreras on his home run. That was pretty good. I don't want to put into words what it was. I think a lot of people view that as like time to call the Cubs bullpen. That's probably the most obvious because that's exactly what they did. That was Imanaga's final batter. But he was asked that after the game, and he said it was something about calling Brewers fans, and he praised the fans the way they've gotten involved in these two games. I don't know that I'm gonna fully buy that one.
I just love the thinking that goes into that.
That was great.
You got to think about that, and he did it so well. It was like, let me pick that up, and he listened for a moment, and then put that one down.
That was a good one. Adam, we appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your lunch and the workout today. We'll check in again next week. I imagine we'll be talking about Brewers baseball again. That's for sure.
I promise I'll get something healthy for dinner so that if they do move on, I'm still alive.
Yeah, balance. Adam McKelvey, Brewers.com, covers the Brewers expertly. He is in Wrigley or at Wrigley or near there, and we'll be there for the game tomorrow as well. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
Bye, guys.
12:52.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature.
Will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, for 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin, so here's the plan. Got a busted garage door? No problem. You give Geist a phone call or stop by their showroom in Brookfield, right off Barker Road, and they can provide solutions for you. Doors and openers with brands like CHI and LiftMaster, custom designs, whatever you need. Geist can help you through the process. Wonderful people, been in business for over 7 decades, doing it the right way. Swift and reliable garage repair solutions are available. Just visit GeistDoors.com. You can also visit that showroom or just make a phone call if you've got an issue. Maybe they can help you out over the phone. Don't think twice. Call Geist and visit GeistDoors.com.
Sweet Talks is a woman-owned medical spa in Menominee Falls, fostering self-love and confidence. Our expert registered nurse injectors go beyond injectables, offering lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. Join thousands of satisfied patients at sweettalks.com.
Hi, WTMJ's Sandy Max here to tell you about incredible career opportunities with my friends at 3 Pillars Senior Living Communities in Dousman. 3 Pillars is ranked best in continuing care, assisted and independent living, and it's a certified great place to work. They're hiring caregivers within their assisted living and memory care communities. Full and part-time day or evening shifts starting at $20 per hour, and you could get more based on experience and shifts. The best part, you'll make a difference in the lives of others every day. Go to 3pillars.org and click on the Careers tab to learn more.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. I reclaim my outdoor space by having Comfort Awnings install a motorized retractable awning so I can enjoy the sun and get relief when I need it. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive a free motor for your automated awning with your order. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit ComfortAwnings.com.
Federal health Officials just issued a warning about certain HelloFresh meals. CBS's Michael Wallace has the details.
The subscription service's parent company, Fresh Realm, notified the USDA after spinach in some of its meals tested positive for Listeria. The affected meals include HelloFresh cheesy pulled pork pepper pasta and unstuffed peppers with ground turkey. There have been no reports of illnesses. Last month, Fresh Realm detected the same strain of Listeria in the pasta in some of its linguine dishes. That outbreak killed at least 4 people and sickened 20. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Local news coming up next.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
You've seen us around town, volunteering, supporting events, and showing up where it matters. At Waterstone Bank, we're more than a bank. We're your neighbor. The money you deposit stays local, helping small businesses, creating jobs, and supporting home ownership. It's banking from the community for the community. Visit your local branch or WSBOnline.com to see how we're building a stronger southeastern Wisconsin, one neighbor at a time. Waterstone Bank, member FDIC.
It was 1957 when the legend of the great pizza found at Marty's Pizza began. In 1982, we took the show on the road and opened up in Delafield where we're still alive and kicking. In fact, stronger than ever. And I think it's because good people know a great value, and they definitely know great pizza. Still made today with all the recipes Marty himself created. Hey, when you want what we think is the best pizza around and one of the best values in town, remember Marty's Pizza, right off of I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
You just can't pass on Less is Glass. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, October 7th. Your top story, still recovering after a mass school shooting.
I'm Jessica Tighe. What's next for furloughed federal workers?
Afternoon sunshine today, a high of 65 degrees. Clear and chilly tonight, a low of 39. 60 your high on Wednesday. 62 and sunny in Milwaukee at 101 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom. The family of the lone student still hospitalized from a school shooting in Madison, providing new details about his recovery.
It's been 10 months since the deadly shooting at Abundant Life Christian School, and Sammy Garduna Martinez's recovery has been slow. In a GoFundMe post, Sammy's mother says he was shot 2 or 3 times in the head, back, and arm. They call it a miracle he survived, and he's gone through extensive physical therapy as well as spine surgery. He's required a feeding tube and had a procedure on his vocal cords to help him speak. The Wisconsin State Journal says Sammy was to be discharged last spring but had a setback and remains in the hospital. Eric Bilstad, WTMJ News.
Sammy's family hoping to move him to a specialized rehab hospital near Chicago. The family's GoFundMe account has raised nearly $100,000 this week.
A woman accused of stabbing her cousin on Milwaukee's South Side last month is now facing first-degree reckless homicide charges. 19-year-old Ray Gianna Hall is accused of killing Jaquavion Wright at a home near the Mitchell Park Domes. Prosecutors say the two had an argument about getting a job at Taco Bell. According to the criminal complaint, Hall admitted to the stabbing, but later said she didn't mean to do it and that it was self-defense. If convicted, she could face up to 60 years in prison.
President Trump responds to questions about what's possible for federal workers during the government shutdown.
The president says he will follow the law when it comes to furloughed federal employees getting back pay.
For the most part, we're going to take care of our people.
But added,
there are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
While it's unclear what exactly he meant by that, he did say because of the shutdown,
we're able to take out billions and billions of dollars of waste, fraud, and abuse, and they've handed it, on a silver platter.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Supreme Court justices are hearing arguments today in a case involving conversion therapy. That's the practice of trying to change a person's sexual orientation or gender identity through treatment. ABC's Devin Dwyer has details.
The justices really wrestled with whether these types of laws that restrict what counselors can or cannot say when treating young people who are struggling with their gender identity or sexual orientation need to be held to a very high standard because it involves free speech. And today, I would say a majority of the conservatives did appear inclined to hold this law and others like it to that very high bar. Not entirely clear how they would come out, but they sure were skeptical of any of these restrictions put on counselors and how they talk to young people about sex and sexual orientation.
The practice has been widely discredited by major American mental health and medical organizations for decades.
Well, if you can't make it to Game 3 of the NLDS in Chicago, the Brewers want you to join the party here at home, hosting a free watch party at Davidson Park Wednesday afternoon. Brewers President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger.
We'll have music, big screens, and a lot of pomp and circumstance to get people excited. We're also going to have food trucks, tailgate games. We'll have a DJ there. Our 414 Force will be there taking photos and greeting fans.
Fans encouraged to arrive by 3 o'clock. First pitch between the Brewers and Cubs scheduled for Wednesday at 4:08. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Kind of a rough day here with the Dow off about 210 points at 46,490. NASDAQ down 190 points at 22,752. And the S&P is off about 37 this afternoon at 6703. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
We're looking ahead to the Brewers' Game 3 of the NLDS. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
What makes Hassellus Mattress different?
Aside from employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery and haul-away, and way too low prices on Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper?
Yeah, besides that.
Well, Hassellus is locally owned.
You mean your franchise is locally owned?
We're not a franchise. Every showroom is owned and managed by the same family. So, when you shop at Hassellus, your money stays right here. And through Monday, our family wants to give you a $200 $248 credit towards a new Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper just for shopping local.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Our 43 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
I like that.
Try and buy with no pushy sales guy.
I love that.
Free next day delivery too.
Thanks.
For what?
For being different.
Shop local and enjoy a $248 credit through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find a no-hassle, employee-free showroom near you at hasselus.com.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers one win away from the NLCS after Monday night's 7-3 win over the Cubs.
Kicks and deals. Slider struck him out. Uribe strikes out the side. He puts it in the holster, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead in the division series. The Brewers bullpen retires the last 15 batters in a row. And the Cubs are on the brink as the series shifts to Chicago.
Jeff Levering with the call last night. Game 3 scheduled for a 4:08 first pitch Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley. 2 games on the playoff scoreboard today. The Blue Jays will advance to the ALCS with the win over the Yankees. And the series between the Tigers and Mariners tied at a game apiece. Game 3 later tonight in Detroit.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We have just a couple of disabled vehicles. No big crashes to let you know, but that's good news. Down in Kenosha County, 4194 South, very close to the ramp from Wisconsin 142. The right shoulder is blocked due to a car that is broken down. I just watched on the cameras the driver get on out of the car, go to the trunk, and pop the trunk. It's always the worst feeling, right? It's like, oh, man, what's going on with the car? I got to figure this out. He's trying to do it on his own, so good luck there. Not seeing any big slowdowns because of it, but we do have that. 4194 South, very close to the ramp from Wisconsin 142 down in Kenosha County. And then, not too far from State Fair Park, we're also dealing with another new disabled vehicle, I-94 east of the ramp from I-41 south.
Well, it started off kind of drizzly and kind of cool, kind of cloudy. Now the sun is starting to shine here. High of 65 today, overnight low 39 degrees. Sun returns on Wednesday with a high of 60, mid-60s for Thursday and Friday. Looks like sun on Thursday, partly cloudy on Friday, 73 the high, inland on Saturday. 62 degrees, mostly sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
And not used to staying up and working past midnight anymore, but well worth it after the game last night. So, yeah, people a little sluggish today maybe, but certainly worth it after an incredible win.
It's something when you're so tired, but you had such a great night. I mean, how fun was it cheering for the Brewers? But the start of that game had people a little nervous, and it was so similar to Saturday's game, wasn't it? All of a sudden, the Cubs get one, and we're like, oh gosh. And then, boom, the Brewers just come, and it's magic, Greg. It's magic.
Well, it definitely
the magic
is.
Brew.
The Cubs' decision to start their best starter in Game 1 backfired on Craig Counsell. And Pat Murphy's decision to start Aaron Ashby and do this whole opener thing, that also backfired. The difference is the Brewers recovered from it and won going away. Pretty impressive performance and a fun highlight recap coming up a little later this hour. Brewers go for a sweep of the Cubs on a Wednesday afternoon.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the government shutdown is now impacting air travel. There's been an uptick in sick calls from air traffic controllers. Remember, they're working without pay during the shutdown. Staffing shortages are leading to flight delays. Meanwhile, the finger-pointing by politicians continues. ABC's Morgan Norwood.
The staffing shortages triggering delays at major airports across the country, including Newark, Denver, and Phoenix. Smaller airports could also be affected. The Transportation Department says funds for the program that allows air carriers to service rural areas will expire next week.
CBS News has learned the Office of Management and Budget is circulating a memo inside the White House right now stating furloughed workers and federal employees working without pay are not entitled to back pay during the government shutdown. Congress historically has provided back pay.
Well, all aboard the Brewers Express. Yeah, quite literally, the Brewers will travel to Chicago, well, via bus. Most are already in Chicago for Game 3 of the NLDS Wednesday afternoon with a chance to sweep the Cubs.
Kicks and deals. Slider struck him out. Uribe strikes out the side. He puts it in the holster, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead in the division series.
7-3 the final Monday night, so fans looking to make the trip to Chicago can board the Brewers Express Wednesday for an 8:05 a.m. departure. It's part of the Hiawatha train line. You're familiar with that if you've ever done it before, the nice train ride to Chicago and back. Well, more Brewers-centric, not an ordinary train ride. I don't know if there will be a quiet car, but it's going to be bratwurst and a whole tailgate environment ahead of time. I don't think the racing sausages can fit on the train, so don't expect them to be actually riding the train with you. At least I don't think. You might see Barrel Man. I don't know. But yeah, a whole to-do tomorrow at the train station for the Amtrak Hiawatha train 332, sending Brewers fans off with a bunch of giveaways, appearances from Bernie Brewer. It's going to be a fun atmosphere tomorrow morning.
Number 3, Prime Big Deal Days are on. A decade after the first Prime Day, Amazon hopes to boost business with its twice-a-year sales extravaganza. Over the next 2 days, online shoppers are going to be burning up their smartphones.
Adobe Analytics estimates that $9 billion will be spent by consumers in online stores, including Amazon, between now and midnight tomorrow. Other retailers hope to catch some of Amazon's two-day hype. Walmart, for example, has launched a bundle of bargains on electronics, clothing, and groceries in a sale that runs 5 days.
That's ABC's Jim Ryan. We talked with Jim during our last hour, and he told us about $20 billion of Amazon's expected sales these 2 days will be bought through buy now, pay later plans. And critics say those arrangements can lure consumers into buying more than they would have otherwise and overextending themselves before those bills start arriving.
I did buy something today, I must confess.
You did? Since we talked to Jim?
Yes.
What'd you buy?
Well, so we're doing our basement, and I wanted to pick out like an LED mirror. So it's like front lit. It's kind of interesting. You can hardwire into the wall and whatnot. And I've been looking at a bunch of these different things, and the price was at a reasonable level. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I just wait a few days and just see what happens here with the Amazon thing?
Yeah.
You know, for content and everything.
Sure.
And it was about $40 cheaper than it was 3 days ago. So
well, there you
pretty
go.
legitimate savings.
That's awesome. I'll be honest. I don't typically buy stuff during these deals. I find that it's so cumbersome because there's so much stuff.
Yes.
There are so many deals that I feel like I just waste more time looking for stuff, so I don't need to.
Yeah, this was a need and not a want, so I
Yeah.
knew I was going to have to get it anyway. But some of the things that you see on Amazon, it's like, well, you can't afford not to buy it.
Well, yeah.
You can, but
Well, if
choose
you're in
not
the
to.
zone, though, and you know something, too, you're like, I need this, I want this, I'm going to get this at some point, then it's a great time.
It's 1:14 on WTMJ.
It's Oktoberfest at Fleet Farm with big fun in store for the whole family. Don't miss our Toyland opening at 7 a.m. Saturday, October 11th, where the first 125 customers will get our free annual Toyland toy. Along with toys, kids can get their hands on some real big rigs at our Touch a Truck event from noon till 3. And be sure to enter our pretzel count contest for a chance to win a Fleet Farm gift card. Stop in and celebrate Oktoberfest with us all month long. It's our way of thanking you for shopping Fleet Farm.
Well, the game tomorrow, first pitch just after 4 o'clock. You got time. You got time to head to Flanders Home Entertainment. If you're looking for an upgrade to your audio and video system, why not watch the best of the playoffs with a TV that has a little better resolution, maybe a little more size to it, refresh rate, right? All those things you have to keep in mind. Well, if it kind of makes your head spin, connect with the folks at Flanders. They will point you in the right direction. experts in the field for decade upon decade. Bought my first big screen from Flanners back in, 2004. I still have it. Pretty amazing. It's probably the best TV we have in our house. It's just not going away. Flanners pointed me in the right direction about 20 years ago, and I still have the product today. That's a great return on the investment there. Flanners has the solutions. They have the installation experts. They've got the right ideas for your space. Connect with them at their showroom in West Allis, Grafton, or shop anytime at Flanners.com. It's Flanners Home Entertainment, local experts designed to help you. Sound advice at the best price. It's Flanners. Just press play.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Get your aches and pains under control and bring back your energy. Whether it's headaches, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, time and repetition is key to staying on the right track. I've been seeing Dr. Alex and his team for 2 years now. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Connect Chiropractic uses a special tool that is targeted and effective, yet pain-free and gentle. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, and the new location on Rawson Avenue in Oak Creek. Get started at GoConnectChiro.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Well, the clouds are starting to work their way out of the system here. Pretty nice day developing. 65-year high, a little cooler near the lake. Overnight low 39 degrees. Going to be chilly. Tomorrow's high just 60 degrees. Should be plenty of sun, however. Thursday, sunny and a high of 62. Friday, partly cloudy and a high of 65. 62 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 117.
A public hearing is underway in Milwaukee right now on authorizing the use of cameras to enforce traffic violations. They're currently prohibited under state law. The hearing is going on at the Summerfest building, and this is the first time community members are getting a chance to speak up on the issue. WTMJ's Neil Doyle is there. He joins us live. And Neil, I know people are very passionate about red light cameras. What are you hearing so far?
Yeah, Greg, Jessica, it's been a lot of testimony and a lot of comment in favor of bringing red light cameras to the city of Milwaukee. And this is a bit unprecedented today. Number one, to just get to this point, to get to a public hearing, to try to get this bill passed, to bring red light cameras to the city, but also the fact that the Senate committee is meeting here at the Summerfest grounds. I mean, these meetings normally take place in Madison, but obviously, this legislation has gotten to this point now to get to hear from the public. We heard from Mayor Cavalier Johnson, Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman was here, and several members of the public as well speaking in front of this committee here throughout the afternoon in favor, wanting to bring red light cameras and pass this legislation. And a lot of from what we're hearing, especially from the city officials, is they want this to get passed because this would just be an added tool for the city. So a lot of people in favor of getting this legislation passed. Still testimony and kind of public comment going on at this point. So it's been a lot of people, again, in favor of wanting to get this bill passed. It is Senate Bill 375 that, again, would bring these red light cameras to the city of Milwaukee.
Neil, is it clear to you there are detractors in the audience as well, maybe just waiting for their turn to speak?
At this point, it seems overwhelmingly like many of the people here are all in support. We have not, to this point, at least when I've been sitting in, have not heard anybody speak against not wanting this legislation to pass. If anything, one of the senators on the committee, Senator Van Wangard, who represents portions of Racine County, he has kind of had his, stipulations about this. He kind of spoke multiple times throughout the session so far, the meeting, that he thinks more officers on the street would be a better deterrent rather than these red light cameras. So he again, being a senator on the committee, has kind of had some queries about it. But overall, the public comment has all been in favor of this legislation.
Neil, I'm kind of curious about the general community members. So not the mayor, not the police chief, but Nancy and Bob, when they're standing up and talking in support of the red light cameras, Have they shared any personal stories or just what they have seen in the city or in their neighborhoods that has made them want to support this?
Yeah, Jessica, actually heard from one community member and kind of heart-wrenching. Back in 2022, she spoke about her son was actually crossing a street right near Pfizer Forum. I didn't catch which street in particular he was crossing, but it was right near Pfizer Forum downtown. Said her son was crossing and was actually hit by a speeding vehicle. That case is actually still not solved to this point. So that was certainly kind of, heart-wrenching a little bit to hear a story from a mother who lost a child because of reckless driving. And again, that case still not solved to this point. So that was certainly a tough one. But again, a lot of the other community members as well saying any tools that can be added to the police department, to the city to try to curb, obviously, reckless driving that has not been an issue just here in the city of Milwaukee, but, around the state and across the country. Any tools that you can add, a lot of people just, again, in favor of trying to get this legislation passed. And this has been, a long road. This bill's been talked about before. It has never gotten to this point, though, to get to a public hearing. So a lot of people hopeful that, hopefully this will get through this committee, but then still, have to be approved by the legislature as well.
Neil, are there recurring themes for those who are in support of the red light cameras, for example, about changing behaviors, or is it more about revenue? Anything coming up time and time again with those who are speaking for this idea?
A lot of it, Greg, has to do with changing behaviors. And we heard from, obviously, some, the city officials being the mayor, the police chief, and even those who are sponsoring the bill. Senator Dora Drake, the co-sponsor, is actually on this committee. Senator Somchek is here as well. And they talked about this is not a bill that is supposed to drive revenue. It is solely, has been written and wanting to change behaviors of drivers and, again, try to catch those who are breaking the law on the roads. And even heard that from, some of the community members as well. They were saying it's good to know that this is hopefully going to be used as a tool to try to catch those who are doing the wrong things on the roadways.
Did they walk through possibly at the beginning next steps if the cameras are indeed approved?
So at this point, again, have never gotten to even this point of the public hearing, and this is part of the process. So this obviously would then have to be approved by the committee. There were a couple of other bills. Obviously, the bill with the red lights is getting the most attention here today. This then has to get approved by the legislature. So there are still some steps to be taken before this would be implemented. Before we would start seeing any of these red light cameras. So still some steps to be had, but this is certainly, for those in favor of this, a step in the right direction.
Hope you brought a lunch, Neil.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an afternoon, but no, it's been nice. We're at the Summerfest, kind of the main office building, kind of, a different kind of a vibe for a committee meeting here for the state Senate. But no, it's been a good afternoon so far.
All right, WTMJ's Neil Doyle, we appreciate it. It's great to hear from the community members, Greg, because think about this. We've been talking about this for a while, but then we got super focused on it last week when we were talking with Joel Brennan, president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee. We were talking about this meeting today coming up, and then the next day we talked with a researcher at the IIHS, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Somebody, that group has looked into the research, whether it's speed cameras, red light cameras, and the bottom line is they say they are effective in communities and that they work. Interesting to hear from Neil that the majority of the people there are in favor of them, because we do know that there are a lot of people who do not want them in the communities. We see that in our text line. However, I also wonder how many of those people were paying attention and, knew the public hearing was happening. If they weren't listening to us, weren't paying attention to the news, who actually were going to go there. I mean, sometimes that's different. You hear this out there, but then the people who are actually going to show up to the public hearing, they're passionate in wanting them.
So currently not permitted in the state of Wisconsin. The goal here from city leaders is to try and get this to be implemented. And it's not just a very simple, concentrated area in downtown Milwaukee. The idea is to have this in all the aldermanic districts in Milwaukee, so spread about, kind of peppering Milwaukee County and the city of Milwaukee. So interesting to see where this goes. But the public hearing started at about 11 this morning on the Summerfest grounds. They are still going, and from the sounds of it, doesn't appear like it's going to be over anytime soon. Curious to hear what some of those detractors say and ultimately where it goes. But I would be surprised if this 5-year pilot program were not launched at some point in 2026. I feel like this is going to go through, and red light cameras will be a thing in Milwaukee. 124 here on WTMJ.
No matter how how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, make your basement or lower level the place to be in your household. Greg Matzek here. We're working with Matrix Basement Finishing on doing just that. Our kids are getting a little bit older, starting to transition into a space where they can hang out with friends. We can be together hosting larger groups of people. We can watch games and movies, play games, right? Our lower level is going to be the place to be in our house. It's time for it. We decided not to do anything with it when we built our house, and now we've got Matrix Basement Finishing working on the project. In fact, they're at my house right now trying to get things organized and material drop-offs. They're working on setting in an egress window, all the things to make the basement what we want it to be. Matrix Basement Finishing only does basements. That's it. They only do basements, and they are the best here. Check out their 5-star Google reviews at matrixbasements.com/Matzek. And special pricing for you, matrixbasements.com/Matzek. See what they can do. If you can dream it, they can build it with Matrix. I caught one of their foremen talking to the crew at our house yesterday morning when they set up shop, and I was doing some stuff in the kitchen, and I heard David mention to his team, hey, I don't want a speck of dust in this house. Let's get our zip wall up, make sure we're cleaning everything, vacuum before you leave. I came home last night, and the house looked perfect. Perfect. Matrix Basement Finishing. All the details you want out of a contractor. Finish that lower level with Matrix.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You've heard about Tri-County Contracting and their worry-free roof tune-up. You've heard about their instant roof quote. But don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also handles windows. Our project at my home moving right along right now, and the process has been so easy and thorough. It's nice when you can trust the team you're working with and know that they are looking out for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and also windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
I'm with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, you get the benefit of one-on-one relationships with the James team, like when your sales rep said something unexpected. What did they say?
Hey, this is a little high. You're not printing as much as we thought you were going to print.
Then the James team member had even better news.
Correct. Let's bring that down. Let's make it a little cheaper and still keep you on the same program.
The James Managed Print Services Program. All your document output devices bundled under one invoice that includes service and supplies for one low cost per print. Nice, right, Preston?
Yes, felt great. Felt secure, Don't have to worry about, again, somebody just coming in and selling something and then walking away and never hearing from them again.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
So, Alex, why don't you tell us about Lion's Tail?
We've been brewing for 10 years, and now we're busy expanding into Milwaukee, trying to get on every shelf of every store and on tap at every restaurant.
How has Horicon Bank been a part of your story?
Horicon Bank understands the needs of small businesses versus working with a big bank. Horicon, they're much like a small business, just like we are. I know most of the people on that team. It's nice working with someone that understands your business.
Loyalty, family,
Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, October 7th. Your top story, deciding to run for a third term.
I'm Jessica Tighe, pushing pause on verifying your citizenship.
Afternoon sunshine, a high of 65, overnight low of 39 degrees.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. It's been 2 years since Hamas carried out the surprise October 7th attacks with 1,200 killed and more than 250 others taken hostage. In Egypt, talks continue between Israel and Hamas on the U.S. Gaza peace plan. Tomorrow, special envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner join the delegation. ABC's Jordana Miller is in Jerusalem.
I would say the one difference this year from last year is that there is a cautious optimism, a little bit of hope that maybe now with these ceasefire talks underway in Egypt, maybe we're near the end of this war.
More than 67,000 Palestinians have been killed during the war, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. The government shutdown entering its second week, the Senate voting on another stopgap measure today. President Trump also raising the possibility that furloughed workers, he says, may not all get back pay. Hurricane Priscilla strengthening in the Pacific, now just shy of a Category 3. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1:31. Decision Wisconsin, Attorney General Josh Kaul will run for re-election.
Kaul will seek a third term, ending speculation that he was planning to run for governor. He was first elected as the state's top law enforcement official in 2018 and won re-election in 2022. While in office, Kaul successfully pushed the state Supreme Court to strike down the state's abortion ban this year that was put back into effect after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The general election will be held in November of next year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin Department of Justice is asking a judge to pause a voter citizenship verification order.
The order would require elections officials to verify the citizenship of all registered Wisconsin voters before the next statewide election in February. This comes after 2 suburban Milwaukee voters filed a lawsuit in August 2024, arguing the State Elections Commission is failing to investigate unlawful registrations. Wisconsin law requires voters to certify that they are U.S. citizens, but does not require election officials to obtain proof or require voters to present any. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A teenager arrested following a deadly crash in Appleton. Happened in the early morning hours of October 4th near I-41, the north off-ramp and North Richmond Street. Drunk driver speeding and failed to stop at the red light, hitting another vehicle that burst into flames. The driver of the second vehicle died from injuries at the hospital. 18-year-old Carter Green of Larson was arrested and faces charges of first-degree reckless homicide and OWI causing injury.
Recruiting local businesses to help reduce gun violence. That's the goal of a project at Guns Down America, a national campaign for gun safety. Executive Director Hudson Munoz.
What we're doing is organizing 300 businesses in the Great Lakes region to come together around a common pledge to invest in the local community, to source from other small businesses, and to take an affirmative stand that there won't be weapons allowed in stores, harassment won't be tolerated.
Munoz says the project encourages people to shop local because research shows economic opportunity is one of the most effective ways to improve local safety.
Brewers outfielder Christian Yelich again named a finalist for the prestigious Hank Aaron Award, honoring the most outstanding offensive performer in each league. Yelich has won it twice, back in 2018 and again in 2019. The award established in 1999 to commemorate the 25th anniversary of Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's all-time home run record. Fans can cast their votes for Yelich online until Sunday. All the details are online at WTMJ.com.
The Milwaukee Brewers are just one win away from the NLCS. Go, Brew Crew, go. Yeah, sports, traffic, and weather next, 1:34.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car is not one of them. The national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adam.com.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brewers are 1 win away from the NLCS after Monday night's win over the Cubs.
Kicks and deals. Slider struck him out. Uribe strikes out the side. He puts it in the holster, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead in the division series.
Jeff Levering with the call on Monday night. Game 3 of the series scheduled for a 4:08 first pitch Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley. Temperatures going to be somewhere in the 50s. Not sure. We'll check in with Brian Disnansky coming up in just a couple of minutes. 2 games on the playoff scoreboard today. Blue Jays will advance to the ALCS with the win over the Yankees, and the series between the Tigers and Mariners all tied at 1 game apiece. Game 3 tonight in Detroit.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. It's a day of disabled vehicles out on the system. Not too many of them, but hey, we'll take that versus a crash. 4194 north at the ramp from Elm Road in Milwaukee County. That's Elm Road. The right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. I'm not seeing any delays from that one yet. Also want to let you know that we're still taking a peek at this one down in Kenosha County. It's still there. 4194 south, right beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 142. In that case, the right shoulder is blocked due to the car that's broken down.
Well, some rain yesterday. Not sure what the totals were. It came in a couple of different ways, sort of cloudy and damp all day long, and that kept up this morning. And now we're looking at a pretty nice day, which temperature's hitting about 63 right now. So another stretch of sun on the way here. TMJ4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Disnansky joins us. Hey, Niz.
Yeah, what's going on, Greg, Jessica? Yeah, it's beautiful. It's fall-like, but the sun is shining. It's nice to dry out after yesterday's clouds and rain.
That rain, did anybody else notice it was dirty rain? Not to be confused with dirty soda that's popular right now, but like my car, I had it up on the roof, and then I looked this morning, and I was like, it left that little film.
Very filmy, for sure. There's a lot of stuff. The trees are kicking up a lot. They're releasing a lot. Not so much as pollen. There is a little bit of pollen to the air, but you're right. I think the pine trees were dumping some sap and stuff. It's the time of the year where that rain is picking up a lot of stuff, but you're right. My car had the same film.
Niz, can we talk about moons here? I've noticed the last couple of nights, my daughters have pointed it out as well. October, this is full harvest moon time, right? I get it confused with the blood moon and the blue moon and the wolf moon. There's all sorts of different moons.
Yep. The harvest moon, okay, so the moons typically get their names based on the month that they are. But the harvest moon is dictated by the full moon that is closest to the autumn equinox. And we just had that a week or so ago. So this is the closest full moon to the autumn equinox, so it gets the label of the harvest moon.
The other night, I'm trying to remember if it was 2 nights ago or which night, but it was so close. At first, we did not think it was a full moon, and then it seemed to be. It was just unbelievable out there in the sky, and those are the times when the moon looks so beautiful, you want to take a picture of it, but you know your camera's not going to do it justice, but you still try.
Yeah, and then you leave those up to the professionals, because then you hop on social media and you start to see all the posts of people who know what the heck they're doing when they're taking, astronomical photos. But you're right. When you could see it, it was amazing. Unfortunately, last night when it was officially full, we had a lot of cloud cover. So that kind of dampened things a little bit. But yeah, the full harvest moon now in our rear view mirror, and almost harvest time for many area farmers. And the weather looks to cooperate. I got out there. I wasn't necessarily harvesting, but I was doing some fall yard work this morning, and it feels good. I mean, it's a lot better than doing that stuff when it's, 85 degrees outside and humid. The 65 and sunshine felt great.
Well, and that's the thing. These temperatures, I mean, our highs, they're comfortable. They're not bad at all, but I think it's going to feel jarring to a lot of people because we lucked out with that warm weather, that extended summer-like weather.
It did, yeah. And you're right. It's going to be a change of pace, especially during the nighttime. So, we're now into a category where once the sun sets, maybe on these sunny days when we're in the 60s, you can get away without a sweatshirt or a jacket. Once that sun sets, it's going to be cool and crisp. But I think a welcome sight to many folks who are looking forward to fall weather. And these warmer sunny days and the cool nights, the perfect recipe. I think we're really going to set up here the next few days to allow our trees to really start to pop some vibrant colors. You need, again, sunshine during the day and cool nights. And I think the trees are going to start to really brighten up here the next couple days. Not going to be anywhere near peak, but things are going to ramp up.
Biz, that's the steaming locomotive headed towards Chicago with a bunch of Brewers fans on it. It might be a little early on that, but tomorrow morning the Brewers Express is departing for Chicago. What does the Wrigley forecast look like for mid-afternoon tomorrow?
Yeah, it looks good. Similar to here, maybe a couple degrees warmer. I think we're looking at lower 60s, lots of sunshine during the game. It should be beautiful outside. Perfect fall weather, perfect October baseball weather, and things are looking good. What is the start time on that game, by the way? I was meaning to look at that.
Yeah, 4:08 tomorrow. 4:08.
Okay.
Much more manageable.
Probably by the tail end. Yeah, by the tail end of that game, you're probably slipping back into the 50s. So anybody making the trip, obviously, sweatshirt will be needed for the second half of the game once that sun sets. But should be a beautiful night.
I was thinking about that even in the morning. Maybe people might want a hoodie because if you've got people at the train station, at the Milwaukee Intermodal station, some people are going to be out there. They're basically tailgating outside of the train station before jumping on there. There's like a brat breakfast. It seems like a hoodie might be appropriate for that.
Yeah, totally. All the fall fits that you've been waiting to wear when it was 85 to 90 degrees last weekend. Time to break them out. More typical autumn weather has arrived.
Well, we're enjoying it, Niz. We appreciate it. Looking forward to watching the game tomorrow. I was looking ahead. A good chance that if this series goes to a fourth game, it would go off about 8 o'clock in the evening on Thursday. So now you're talking about a really chilly evening for baseball.
Yeah, nighttime, a little bit of coolness, settling in Thursday night. Let's hope we don't get there, though. I don't know. We got every bit to be confident, right? We got a team that's responding to, getting punched in the jaw the first two games, and then they just explode, and it's been amazing. It's been fun to watch. Let's not give the Cubs any hope, and let's end it on Wednesday.
Yeah, series sweep. Let's do it.
Appreciate it, Niz. We'll check in again soon.
You bet, guys. See ya.
1:43 on WTMJ. About that game last night, how do you pick one highlight?
So many highlights.
Out of the group, right? The fireworks started early for the Brewers, and they lasted throughout the game. Cubs limited to just 4 hits. They did score 3 runs, all on one swing of the bat in the first, and were largely shut down by the Brewers bullpen after that. We've got a little highlight recap. We'll go through last night's game after this.
Pitch by pitch, inning by inning, game by game. Watching the Crew is a 162-game journey of grit, hard work, talent, and determination. Dave Spanel from Annex Wealth Management, we're with you on your journey as well. Your hard work and money deserve a partner like Annex for your investment, retirement, tax, estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary. Take the next step towards retirement you desire and begin the conversation soon. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Thanks, Dave. Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off their shoulders. Let Gruber Law Offices fight your legal battle while you focus on healing. It's what they do. It's what they've been doing for 40 years here in southeastern Wisconsin. State of Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Getting results. Gruber Law Offices, results that speak for themselves. Make a difference in the community. Gruber Law Offices does it day in and day out. Locally known, nationally recognized, with an incredible team. Visit gruber-law.com. If you've been hurt in an accident, you can learn more about the firm by visiting the website, in addition to what they do in the community and all the different entities they support. Make a call if you've been hurt in an accident to Gruber at 414-276-6666.
Start your journey now. Don't wait. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation to lose up to 1 pound of fat per day. No drugs, no injections, no exercise. It's safe, fast, and costs a fraction of those injections. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Fall in Milwaukee, where the air is crisp, the drinks are cold, and the good times are just heating up. Stroll Milwaukee's lakefront and explore its parks as they burst into a kaleidoscope of golds, ambers, and reds. Raise a glass at a beer garden that feels like a neighborhood block party, Milwaukee style. And just as the temps fall, Brewers baseball is turning up the heat. October dreams are made right here. This season, every color, every cheer, every sip, it all comes together in Milwaukee. Craft your perfect getaway at visitmilwaukee.org.
At Boucher, we don't just sell cars, we build careers.
For over 45 years, Boucher has been Wisconsin's trusted name in automotive excellence, and today we're growing faster than ever.
Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting out, Boucher is hiring across all departments: sales, service, finance, and more.
Enjoy industry-leading pay, unbeatable benefits, paid training, and a workplace that truly values you. Join the Boucher family, where we ride with you every mile, and your future rides with us. Apply today at Boucher.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-859-3220. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 to 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-859-3220. That's 800-859-3220 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-859-3220. 800-859-3220.
So baseball is probably the most unpredictable game you can imagine, right? It's just so hard to try and picture what's going to happen. You can have a plan, and that plan can be spoiled immediately. And the Cubs' plan in game number 1 of their starting pitcher, well, that was spoiled as soon as the Brewers put up 6 runs in the first inning. That was a wrong decision from Craig Counsell, and it backfired. I think you could argue last night's decision to start Aaron Ashby backfired on Pat Murphy. The Brewers were down 3-0 before even grabbing a bat. But they found a way to overcome it. The Cubs could not overcome the damage the Brewers did in Game 1. The Brewers did overcome the first inning damage from the Cubs in Game 2, and now you're 1 win away from advancing to the NLCS.
I couldn't believe the start of that game, and I told my husband, I said, this could be like Saturday, where all of a sudden the Cubs come out like that, and we're like, whoa, but then boom, we respond. And he said, I don't know if we can respond like we need to right now. But they did.
No, pretty amazing for all the offense that was generated in the first inning. And now this is, if I do the math right here, 13 combined runs in the first inning.
Wow.
In 2 games. You've never seen that at the playoff level in Major League Baseball. Incredible run production in the first inning. The Brewers have kept it going. The Cubs have kind of cooled off with their offense.
I'm not sure for the fans if that made you feel like you can't make that bathroom run because you don't know what's going to happen next, or if we kind of got those runs in and you had a little bit of a break. Okay, we can go now.
Like when it was 4-3, and then all of a sudden it was helping get the kids ready for bed, and I came downstairs and it was 7-3. Like, what happened? I missed the Churio home run. I was able to catch up, though, a little bit later on.
Wow, and Churio. I mean, we didn't even know if he's going to be able to play.
No, you're right. You're right. I was nervous watching him run, admittedly, but, when you don't have to worry about testing your hamstring is when you're trotting around the bases after a 3-run home run. One of many highlights from the Brewers' win over the Cubs on Monday night.
Fly ball, left field. Happ on the warning track. Happ at the wall. It's gone! Andrew Vaughn ties it in the bottom of the first inning with a 3-run homer.
William gets a huge hit. Yelly gets a huge hit. I was just trying to keep the momentum going. Have a team at bat there. I was able to get a pitch I could drive, and definitely a big moment there. And the momentum swing, that was huge.
First pitch to Kyle Tucker in there with a strike on a fastball at 103.4. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 104. Goodness. Those last two, a legit 104. Not 103.6 or 103. Those were 104 plus.
He's here at the highest level for a reason. And he's been through some ups and downs. So I think he's pretty aware and pretty on high alert.
Tapper right back to Mizorowski on the mound. Runs halfway to the bag, runs all the way to the bag, and then flexes at the crowd after he gets the final out. The Miz with an exciting third puts up a 0. We go to the bottom of the third.
I was so fired up and, adrenaline pumping. Didn't really know where my feet were, but, we landed. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Man, was that a dandy from Mizorowski. You've got no shot with that pitch if you're Dansby Swanson.
You look up jelly leg in the dictionary, you just found that attempt from Dansby Swanson.
1-1 is a fly ball deep left field. This is way back. Bye-bye baseball. William Contreras admiring a solo blast to left. It puts the Brewers on top 4-3. Valencia's 0-2 pitch. And a fly ball to center. Hit well. PCA's back at the track. Wall. Gone! The lights are never too bright for the 21-year-old Jackson Chourio.
Contreras and Churio's homers was the difference in the game.
Chopper to first. It's a fair ball. Ranging to his left is Vaughn. Fields throws to Koenig. Covering in time. Oh, what a play. Andrew Vaughn and Jared Koenig. Here's his pitch. Swing and a miss and a slider one away. 13 straight Cubs retired by the Brewers bullpen. 1-2 to Crow Armstrong. Here's Uribe. Swing and a miss and a slider. He struck him out. Contreras blocks and applies the tag. 2 gone. The Cubs are down to their final out in game 2. Kicks and deals. Slider struck him out. Uribe strikes out the side. He puts it in the holster, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead in the division series. The Brewers bullpen retires the last 15 batters in a row.
People are wondering, how does this team have the best record in baseball? How does this team, nobody predicted they'd be over 500. And then we have all the injuries. Certainly nobody was banking on this. But how did that happen? It's the group of people in the room. It's the group of people in the room that know how to wash it off. They know how to bounce back. They know how to have a bad series and understand the importance of the next pitch. And that relentless kind of behavior is a separator. But don't think other teams and other guys don't do it too. We've just got a big collection of guys that, are happy they're in the big leagues. I call them cliffhangers, guys that don't know if their locker's going to be there. It's a big deal. And that's a fun thing. That hunger, makes us look like we know what we're doing.
And the Cubs are on the brink as the series shifts to Chicago.
Just a taste of last night's win at American Family Field. Brewers coming back from down 3-0. Winning going away thanks to 3 home runs, each more impactful than the next. And all coming with 2 outs. 2 outs. 2-out hits are the best. 2-out home runs. That's really good stuff in the playoffs.
Just a taste of the highlights, but Greg, those were delicious highlights.
Fun to listen to, no doubt about that, with Game 3 scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at Wrigley. 4:08 the first pitch, and you can hear it right here on WTMJ. It's 1:53.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Hey, if you're up for a game, Potawatomi Sportsbook is right there with you. What a better place to watch a game than Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's incredible that they'll be there over the weekend stopping by. Could be some baseball on, could be some football on, for sure. College football, no doubt. You can see it all at Potawatomi Sportsbook. No better place to watch sports in the state. International games and matches. The Midwest's best sportsbook opens early. Place those bets, kick back, enjoy the show on an absolutely enormous video wall. It's 2,000 square feet. Grab a cold one, some great food, a menu that's packed with flavor. At Potawatomi in the sportsbook. Hang out and enjoy yourself. See all that's new at Potawatomi. And bet above the rest at Potawatomi Sportsbook.
You've seen us around town, volunteering, supporting events, and showing up where it matters. At Waterstone Bank, we're more than a bank. We're your neighbor. The money you deposit stays local, helping small businesses, creating jobs, and supporting home ownership. It's banking from the community for the community. Visit your local branch or WSBOnline.com to see how we're building a stronger southeastern Wisconsin, one neighbor at a time. Waterstone Bank, member FDIC.
Are you sick and tired of sad, skimpy, frozen pizzas that lack toppings and flavor? Problem solved! Screamin' Sicilian brings the party to pizza with mountains of whole milk mozzarella, premium meats, and veggies stacked to the sky. No tweaks necessary, just tons of toppings and amazing flavor. Just bake it, bite it, and let it rip. Mamma mia! Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section. Screamin' Sicilian, toppings piled high, screamin' loud, always delicious.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Gold has surpassed $4,000 an ounce for the very first time. CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks has the details.
Gold is seeing a lot more interest than usual as a traditional safe haven bet, due to the combination of the government shutdown, geopolitical tensions, and continuing strong demand from global central banks. The precious metal has rallied 50% higher in 2025. However, not everyone is buying the gold rally, with billionaire hedge fund manager Ken Griffin telling Bloomberg that it's concerning to him that investors are starting to consider gold as a safer asset than the U.S. dollar, indicating that investors are raising odds of the U.S. government potentially defaulting on its debt.
It's time to go to Costco, Greg, and buy that gold bar.
Isn't that goofy? You can buy gold and silver at Costco. I get it, right? Gold is traditionally viewed as very safe, right? Financial stress, economic uncertainty, the dollar is weakening, geopolitical turmoil. You buy some gold, you hang on to gold, and then it's not likely to crater at all, and more likely to kind of potentially grow up a little bit.
I was kind of taking a peek. I think I might have, a long time ago, my uncle used to get us for Christmas a coin. I feel like I do have one gold coin. But I was taking a peek at these when you see, you can buy a gold bar or a gold coin. Greg, there's one coin. It's a gold kangaroo. It looks fascinating. The asking price right now, $4,000. A little more than $4,000. But there's all kinds of stuff. I didn't really realize. I thought it was kind of like, okay, you get a gold bar, you get a gold coin. But they're really getting fancy with this. There's a gold buffalo, gold maple, American gold eagle, gold kangaroo.
I kind of like the kangaroo idea. I don't think it's common here. Usually it's an inverse relationship where gold is going up and the markets are kind of going down. The dollar is weakening. Well, the markets are at all-time highs here, and gold is also going up. So it's kind of a unique situation, not unheard of, but I'd say uncommon.
By the way, Goldman Sachs is hiking its 2026 gold forecast by another $600 to $4,900 an ounce.
1:58 news coming up next.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Horicon Bank first opened its doors in 1896. My goodness, how times have changed in our country. Well, things have not changed with Horicon Bank. Still community-minded, still doing what it takes to help you and your business. It's Horicon Bank since 1896. Financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks, but your banker at Horicon understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand, top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. It's Horicon Bank. Together doing good. Wonderful people, expanding here into southeastern Wisconsin, and committed to doing what it takes to help you and your business. Visit Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice, and member FDIC.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, October 7th. Your top story, government shutdown reaches day 7.
I'm Jessica Tighe. Sun Prairie voting no confidence.
Clear skies tonight and a chilly overnight low of 39 degrees inland, 47 near the lake. Wednesday's high 60 degrees, mostly sunny and cooler. 63 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 2:01. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, day 7 of the government shutdown. Congress no closer to passing a bill that would fund the government until late November. Democrats want negotiations on reinstating tax credits from the Affordable Care Act that are set to expire at the end of the year. Republicans say they want the government to reopen first, then negotiate.
President Trump said Tuesday that some federal employees who are furloughed during the shutdown, off the job and not getting paid, quote, don't deserve to be taken care of with back pay.
For the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
ABC News obtained a draft memo from the White House Budget Office that says furloughed workers may not be guaranteed back pay in a new interpretation of a 2019 law that the president signed. Experts are skeptical about that interpretation and say it would almost certainly face legal challenges. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Here in Milwaukee, community reaction is pouring in about legislation to bring red light cameras here. First-time offenders caught on the camera driving recklessly would get a warning letter in the mail and a ticket for any following offenses. One of the bill's authors, State Senator Dora Drake, tells her sister station, 1017 The Truth, ticket funds would go to one of three places.
It can only be used for law enforcement, public safety programs, or traffic infrastructure. And the framework of that would be determined by the city. Essentially, the mayor and the common council would create a framework of how that would be implemented here.
Senator Drake says some camera data would be accessible to the public.
In the Sun Prairie Area School District,
how are you going to build that trust? That's the question. Your incremental information that you sheepishly put on your website about the current investigation, that's laughable.
Parents expressing outrage over the arrest of former Sun Prairie West High School Dean of Students, Robert Gilkey Meisiger, faces 2 counts of child sexual exploitation and 13 counts of possession of child pornography. School district electors voted no confidence in Superintendent Dr. Brad Sarin over lack of transparency about the investigation. And the vote can urge the Sun Prairie Board of Education to take official action against Sarin, like a performance review or discipline.
A drug maker has to pay up to the tune of $1 billion over a cancer case.
Johnson & Johnson has to pay $966 million to the family of a woman who died from mesothelioma, a rare and aggressive cancer that develops in the lining of the lungs. The family of 88-year-old May Moore of California sued the company when she died in 2021, saying J&J's baby powder products contained asbestos fibers that caused the cancer. The company has said its products are safe, do not contain asbestos, and do not cause cancer, but it did stop selling the talc-based baby powder in 2020, switching instead to a cornstarch product. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Johnson & Johnson says it does plan to appeal. The company is facing lawsuits from more than 67,000 plaintiffs who say they were diagnosed with cancer after using baby powder and other talc products.
Well, if you can't make it to Game 3 of the NLDS in Chicago, the Brewers want you to join the party here at home, hosting a free watch party at Davidson Park on Wednesday afternoon. Brewers President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger.
We'll have music, big screens, and a lot of pomp and circumstance to get people excited. We're also going to have food trucks, tailgate games. We'll have a DJ there. Our 401 Force will be there taking photos and greeting fans.
Fans encouraged to arrive by 3 o'clock. First pitch for the Brewers and Cubs, scheduled for 4:08. Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Lots of red here this afternoon. The Dow is off about 150 points at 46,541. NASDAQ down about 145 points at 22,780. And the S&P down about 30 at 6712. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Magic is brewing. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:05.
I'd like you to listen to a little question and answer session with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, why James?
I do feel like that we are partnered, again, as opposed to being sold to.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
If I need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
That works for you and the business, right, Preston?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to worry about it.
Plus, there's IT-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems.
I've got information that I can then go to my superiors with and say, hey, here's how we can save a little bit of money.
And
then I kind of look like the hero, too.
Want to be the hero in your office? Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Vince Vitrano from Matrix Basement Finishing. Just had Brent and Josh from Matrix out to our house because the kids are all in college, and my wife and I wanted some ideas about what our basement could look like. Josh had more questions for me. How long are you going to be in the house? How do you want to use the space? What's the dream scenario? Because Matrix is not about selling you what they want to sell you. They're about working with you to design a beautiful and amazing basement your family can enjoy. For special pricing and a free flat screen up to 75 inches, visit matrixbasements.com/Vitrano.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Game 3 of the NLDS takes place Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley Field following the Brewers' 7-3 win over the Cubs in Game 2.
Kicks and deals. Slider struck him out. Uribe strikes out the side. He puts it in the holster, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead in the division series.
Jeff Levering with the call on WTMJ. 4:08, the scheduled first pitch Wednesday afternoon. A win sends the Brewers to the NLCS. 2 games on the playoff scoreboard today. Blue Jays will advance to the ALCS with a win over the Yankees. And the series between the Tigers and Mariners is tied at 1 game apiece. Game 3 tonight in Detroit.
Checking Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We have a brand new disabled vehicle, a car that just broke down in Racine County. This one not too far from Caledonia. 4194 south at the ramp from County G. Right shoulder is blocked because of that car that just broke down. We are also still dealing with this one. This one happened a little bit before 2. Also, actually, this one's just below the border. This one's in Kenosha County. 4194 south, right around the ramp from Wisconsin 142. Right shoulder is blocked in that case. I can see the car. It's off to the side. Traffic is moving by, but there is a decent amount of traffic. So a heads up there. 4194 south, we do have a car that is broken down very close to the ramp from Wisconsin 142.
65 degrees, your high today, overnight low 39. It should be a little warmer near the lake, maybe in the mid-40s. Tomorrow's high 60 degrees, should be plenty of sun. Thursday, high of 62. More clouds than sun on Friday with a high of 65. It's currently 63 and sunny in Milwaukee at 209.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
Tuesday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News on WTMJ. No Brewers baseball today. They return to action tomorrow. In fact, we'll have a little extended version of the program tomorrow. Brewers baseball coverage gets underway at 3:30. First pitch just after 4 o'clock from Wrigley Field. Temperatures look like they could be somewhere in the upper 50s, maybe low 60s around first pitch. Pleasant day on tap for Chicago, and we'll see where it goes. Brewers could be headed to the NLCS. We shall see. It's 2:09 on WTMJ.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, community reaction to red light cameras. A public hearing in Milwaukee is still going on authorizing the use of cameras to enforce traffic violations. They're currently prohibited under state law. The hearing started at 11 o'clock this morning at the Summerfest building. I kind of thought it would be wrapped up by now, but it's still happening. Most of the community members who are speaking at the hearing are in favor of Milwaukee adding red light cameras. WTMJ's Neil Doyle tells us some of the people have very personal reasons.
I actually heard from one community member, and kind of heart-wrenching. Back in 2022, she spoke about her son was actually crossing a street right near Pfizer Forum. I didn't catch which street in particular he was crossing, but it was right near Pfizer Forum downtown. Said her son was crossing and was actually hit by a speeding vehicle. That case is actually still not solved to this point.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson is in favor of adding red light cameras to the city. He hopes it's going to cut down on reckless driving.
I also would like to be in a position where we didn't need to have something like this. It gives me no pleasure to be in a position to be championing something like this. But unfortunately, there are too many people that are out there who make really, really poor decisions, and they put themselves in harm's way, and they also put the greater public in harm's way.
Senator Dora Drake explains next steps if those cameras are approved.
When this bill would be signed into law, the fines don't happen right away. We'll be partnering with DOT and the city, and there'll be signage of where those cameras would be set up. And then on top of that, then say you were running late for work and you did the most and you were going 20 miles an hour, you would get a notice in the mail. You wouldn't get a ticket right away.
Today's public hearing is unique in that it wasn't at the state capitol. It's here in Milwaukee. And this is the first time community members get a chance to speak up on the issue, but it won't be the last.
Number 2, Milwaukee Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo reportedly the subject of trade talks with the New York Knicks during the offseason, sparked by his reported interest in exploring options outside Milwaukee for the first time. It's being reported by ESPN NBA insider Shams Charania. The centerpiece of discussions go back to a late July meeting between Bucks GM John Horst and Giannis. That meeting taking place in Athens, where Giannis conveyed his concerns about the Bucks championship window after 3 straight first-round playoff exits to the Bucks GM. While Giannis, according to the report, did not officially request a trade, the Knicks emerged as his only desired destination outside of Milwaukee. Giannis, should be noted, did join the Bucks in Miami, did not play in the preseason opener last night. He's working through a bout from COVID, but healthy enough to be with the team. And just a week ago at Media Day, had this to say.
My confidence is an all-time high right now. And I feel really good about myself. I feel really good about the team. And I'm excited. I'm excited to be there.
According to source reporting through Shams Charania, neither the Knicks nor Bucks had a serious trade offer on the table for Giannis. Giannis has 2 years remaining on his contract. He'll be eligible for an extension next summer.
Some of these details, though, they just take you inside. They take you to Athens. They take you to that conversation. And as a huge Bucks player, I'm just like, what? I want to know. I want to know, right? I mean, we know that Giannis Antetokounmpo loves Milwaukee. We also know he is very loyal. We also know he wants to win, and he wants to win again. But listening to this and reading some of these details, it says after Horst expressed his confidence in the Bucks roster and his moves, Antetokounmpo aired his concerns about whether this team could truly achieve championship contention, and he wanted to explore whether there would be an alternative path forward for both the team and the player. That according to league sources there.
When you hear that the Bucks are actively shopping Giannis, that's when the antenna really goes up for me. Talking about, is this team going to be a winner? What's our window here? Giannis wants that. He wants to win. He wants a second title. Legacy is very important to him. And again, about a week ago, he had this to say.
I really believe in this team. We're young, we have energy, and I think this is a team full of dogs. Guys that they know their role and go and try to do the best to fit into the role and try to help this team be great. But I think we're a very, very dangerous team.
A mediocre season, and this conversation continues. It will not go away. If the Bucks have a lights-out season and are right there knocking on the door for a title, and maybe it's put to bed for the time being or a period of time. But if the Bucks struggle, this conversation will rise to the top.
Conversation keeps popping up.
2:14 on WTMJ.
Matt LePay for Steinhoffels. Steinhoffels is a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Since 1934, Steinhoffels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress destination for quality, selection, and service. For over 90 years, Steinhoffels has helped Wisconsinites create the homes of their dreams and is 100% employee-owned. Steinhoffels has the largest selection of all the latest styles and all the best mattress brands. You'll find something for every style and every budget. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Siding Unlimited, truly siding and a whole lot more. We know what's coming. What's right around the corner. Is your house ready for the winter months? Well, Siding Unlimited can make sure that cool air, that cold air, the frigid air, the polar vortex stays on the outside. You don't want to feel that on the inside of your home. Windows, doors, roofing, siding, really anything to protect your home and beautify its exterior falls right into the purview of Siding Unlimited. Have them work with you on expanding your living space outside. They can do that too. Patios, pavers, decks, pergolas, outdoor kitchens. Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited can do it all. They've done just about everything at our homes over the years, and they've always had incredible craftsmanship and installation teams working for them. Great products, great installation teams. It's Siding Unlimited. National award winners for installation as recognized by Pella. Pretty impressive stuff. Check out the showroom in the Brookfield Waukesha area, 665 Larry Court, and visit sidingunlimited.com.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. That's why professional athletes choose Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. We can help you too. With the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes, you can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Whether you want to get back into the game or just get back to life, go where the pros go. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Comfortable temperatures today, 65 the high. Sun is out now, and that's a good thing. Comfortable temperatures this evening, but a little chilly. 47 near the lake, 39 if you're inland under sunny skies, or not sunny skies, clear skies. That's a better way to put it. Tomorrow, sunny skies return with a high of 60 degrees. Thursday's high is 62. The sun returns 63 and sunny in Milwaukee at 217.
Never doubt the power of Brewers magic. That is the message from the team today after last night's incredible win. The Brewers beat the Chicago Cubs in Game 2 of the NLDS. Final score, 7-3. So, here we are. Up next for the Brew Crew, Game 3 down in Chicago. First pitch is tomorrow at 4:08. And doesn't that sound nice compared to last night's 8:08?
Yeah, 4:08. So now the trick is just getting home from work in time, right? Trying to get dinner ready, kids off the bus, that kind of thing. Might have to record a little bit of it and catch up in real time. So pros and cons, I suppose.
And then you have some people who aren't even going to work because the Brewers, they're teaming up with Amtrak to take fans down to Wrigley on the Brewers Express, a.k.a. the Hiawatha train. Yep, there it is.
That's the official noise here, right? Yeah, trademark it, patent.
Brewers President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger, on Wisconsin's Midday News.
We're going to have the mascots join the train, go down to Wrigley Field and root on the crew. So it's kind of a fun opportunity for us to try to invade Wrigley Field, if you will, and bring some of the hometown to Chicago and hopefully cheer on a victory on Wednesday.
Yes, let's invade Wrigley. Do you think Clark is going to be there? Waiting for us?
That's
Waiting
the
for Barrelman?
fuzzy bear that flies the flag in the outfield, right?
I think his name's Clark, right?
I think that's
Clark
right.
the Cub?
Well, it's Clark and Waveland is the intersection of Wrigley Field. So, yes.
Okay, so they're going to have tailgating basically at the train station. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a DJ at the Milwaukee Intermodal Station. The famous racing sausages will be there. So will the Brewers 414. First 300 riding fans get free brats.
Love that.
Brats for breakfast. How Milwaukee is that? The second stop on the Brewers Express is the Milwaukee Airport. So you're going to Intermodal Station, train goes to the airport, picks up more fans, then you go down to Chicago. I think it sounds like a blast. Bernie Brewer, by the way, and Barrelman will jump on the train there at the airport.
That is a pretty long time to hang out in the area of Wrigley Field. So the train leaves at 8:05. It likely gets in to downtown Chicago, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of 9:35, 9:40, something like that. It's about an hour and a half or so. Then you got to fight your way north to get to the north side of the city in the area of the stadium. Then you got to maybe hang out at the Cubby Bear or something like that.
Do you think Bernie Brewer and Barrelman, they're like catching an Uber?
Well, I don't know. I don't know that they need to. I guess I'm a little surprised that the sausages even fit on the train. I don't know how they're able to stand up.
Oh, so you're saying, I've never taken the train down to go to Wrigley. I went to Wrigley once. It was a long, long time ago. I was dating somebody who was a Cubs fan. Yeah.
That was never
idea.
destined to work.
Bad idea, right? No, very nice guy. But anyways, Wrigley was down there, but that was so long ago. So if you're taking the train, you can just walk then from there? I was thinking you might, when you said it was a little.
No, I mean, if you're going down to, the Central Station or Union Station, that's like right off Michigan Avenue. You got to fight your way back to the north side. That's kind of a hike with traffic.
So I think Bernie Brewer and Barrelman might be trying to get an Uber.
Okay, that's fine. It might be easier to get off in Sturtevant and take an Uber from there, for goodness sake. Hoping for a Brewers win, of course.
Yeah, and if you can't make it down to Wrigley, don't worry, because the Brewers have a ton of fun planned here as well. In fact, there's a watch party tomorrow on the Harley-Davidson campus. It is an outdoor watch party at Davidson Park. I think those are the best. Sometimes you see that happen for the Packers games. You're outside amongst all the fans, just taking it in on the big screen.
We'll have music, big screens, and a lot of pomp and circumstance to get people excited. We're also going to have food trucks, tailgate games. We'll have a DJ there. Our 414 will be there taking photos and greeting fans. We're also having special things at the barrel yard here at the ballparks for the road games, so people will congregate and come to the barrel yard here at the ballpark and have a great opportunity to watch the game, and it'll be at the stadium. Even though the games will be on the road, you'll still be at American Family Field.
Bring a lawn chair and a blanket to the outdoor watch party. You're golden. If it gets a little cold, you just wrap up. You got your chair right there. You're comfy. You're watching the game, and hopefully you're not sitting in that chair too much because you're on your feet.
You want to be out of the
clapping,
chair. Right? You want to be
cheering.
Absolutely.
Woo, let's go.
If there is a game 4, it'll be in Wrigley Field on Thursday night. That'll be a late one. That'll be an 8:08 first pitch. No idea what the situation would be if there is a game 5 of the series, and we certainly don't want that to happen, right? If there's a game 5, that means the Cubs win back-to-back games on their home field. Not sure exactly when that would start, however. The game would be in Milwaukee. Got to see what happens with the other series here in the National League. But pretty entertaining stuff here for the Brewers so far. You want to hear more of this over the next day or so.
And a pitch. And a breaking ball called third strike. A beautiful curveball. Broke off by Mizorowski. Just froze Swanson.
You look up jelly leg in the dictionary. You just found that attempt from Dan's to be Swanson.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Fastball at 102 up and out of the zone. The 0-1 to Tucker. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 104. Goodness. Each pitch has been
faster than the one previous.
Miz pumps a fist, screams up into the air.
A tapper right back to Mizorowski on the mound. Runs halfway to the bag, runs all the way to the bag, and then flexes at the crowd after he gets the final out. I would say he's a little juiced up.
Miz with the win last night. 3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 31 pitches, over 100 miles an hour. That is absolute craziness. Had a good start. A good opportunity for Miz in his playoff debut. 2:23 in WTMJ.
Are you struggling with stubborn weight gain during perimenopause or menopause? It's not your fault. Your changing hormones are forcing your body to store fat, no matter how little you eat or how much you exercise. But there's hope. The Milwaukee Weight Loss Proprietary Natural Program helps restore your metabolism and reset your hormonal balance so you can finally lose the weight and keep it off. No counting calories, no prepackaged meals, no injections, just real results. Join thousands of women who've discovered how to lose 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks to feel like themselves again. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTNJ Steve Scafidi here. After a summer in the maintenance phase, I'm back in reduction mode. I'm going to lose 10 more pounds. That means I'll have lost 50 pounds since January. The best part, none of the intense workouts, no meals or shakes, none of the meds or injections. Many patients see 20 to 30 pounds come off in just a month or two. Book your free consultation today at 262-393-2334 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
It's like you don't want to even do anything anymore. You lay in bed in the morning, putting off the pain. You put off your workouts. You put off your walks. And yard work, that's just not even an option anymore. As we speak, pain is taking away more and more from your life. And unless you take action, it's going to get worse. And that's no way to live. Not when there's a Rejuvenex clinic nearby. Because the power of Toradol, joined with the wonder of hyaluronic acid, can alleviate your pain. And it can allow you to start living your life again. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. At as low as $65 per injection per joint, Rejuvenex treatments are affordable. They're FDA approved. And in many cases, our patients pay nothing at all. Because insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, pay for them. If your pain just won't go away, you should call Rejuvenex today.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Google reviews will tell you it's worth a try.
Greg, did you hear about this? There is a big legal fight over a very small animal.
Where?
CBS's Jim Krasula has all your details.
3 years ago, federal officials listed a tiny toad in Nevada on the endangered species list. Now, a geothermal company wanting to develop a project near the toad's only known habitat in northern Nevada is suing the government over the decision. The company says the Dixie Valley toad was placed on the endangered species list, quote, without any evidence that its population is declining. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
Look at that little guy. Save the toad.
Why?
You don't want to save him?
Well, no, it's fine. I see toads in my yard all the time, and I try not to hit it with the lawnmower. I'm a fan of the toad. I like the toad.
This toad, though, is on the endangered species list.
I get that, but how do they know this stuff, right? How many different variations of toad are there, really?
I don't know, but I thought you liked this story.
Well,
I pitched
do
this
like the
story, and you
story.
said, I like it. Now you're like, why? Why save the toad, Greg?
Is it a big toad? Is it like an obvious
No,
toad?
it's a tiny toad.
But they have found
Named
it.
Todd. No, I
Okay.
don't know.
Well, it certainly could be. Who knows? But yes, well, save the toad. Yes, save all the little toadies that fly around in your yard as well. It's a scary situation. I see a toad and I got the lawnmower going. That's not a good situation. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Makes me nervous.
All right, well, forget the toads. What time did you go to bed last night after watching the game?
12:45.
Woo! Yeah, it's hard to go to bed after games like that.
You get wired. It's some post-game work to do to make sure the morning show was set because I don't know if Vinny and Eric were staying up that late because I got to be up about 3 a.m. That's a tough situation.
Yeah, it was, what a game, though, here. So I haven't wanted to ask throughout our conversations with, like, say, an Adam McCalvey, Brewers beat writer. Haven't wanted to go there with them, but I'm curious. I feel like we can do this with you. What do you think? What are you feeling? Do you feel like the Brewers are going to sweep?
I'm not as concerned with that. I'm concerned with winning the series.
Well, yeah.
Like, are the Cubs going to get a game? If they get a game in Chicago, is the end of the world? No, not at all. It's not the end of the world. The Brewers are a better team than the Cubs. If the Brewers keep playing the way that they've played throughout the course of the year, they will win this series. sometimes the better team doesn't always win a 5-game series. But stake to a 2-0 advantage, you feel like the odds are certainly well within the Brewers' favor. And they've got one of their best starters able to go in game number 3. They're fairly healthy right now. Churio proved that he can play a little bit less than 100% and be totally fine. So I'm very confident what the Brewers have been able to do through the first 2 games. The Cubs haven't scored more than 3 runs the entire postseason. And the Brewers, well, they've shown that they can pound it out in a variety of ways.
Yes, but man, a sweep, that would be fun.
Would love to see it, no doubt about that, and potential matchup with the Dodgers or Phillies in the NLCS. 2:28 news coming up.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. I reclaim my outdoor space by having Comfort Awnings install a motorized retractable awning so I can enjoy the sun and get relief when I need it. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive a free motor for your automated awning with your order. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, October 7th. Your top story, still recovering after a school shooting.
I'm Jessica Tighe. She admitted to stabbing her cousin over a job at Taco Bell.
Clear skies tonight. Chilly. Low of 39 degrees. Sunny and cooler on Wednesday with a high of 60. 62 the high on Thursday.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. As the government shutdown carries into a second week, President Trump says not all furloughed workers may be entitled to back pay. It comes ahead of another Senate vote today on a stopgap measure. President Trump making those comments before meeting with Canada's Prime Minister at the White House. The president says trade talks are ongoing for both countries that are in conflict over tariffs.
Well, it's a complicated agreement, more complicated maybe than any other agreement we have on trade because, we have natural conflict. We also have mutual love. We have great love for each other. I love this. I love Canada and the people of Canada.
Today marks 2 years since Hamas carried out the surprise October 7th attacks across Israeli villages and at the Nova Music Festival. At least 1,200 were killed, more than 250 others taken hostage. Peace talks also taking place today in Egypt for the second day on a Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal. Summer-like weather fading with showers and cooler temperatures moving into the Midwest and Northeast today. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:31. The family of the lone student still hospitalized from a school shooting in Madison, providing new details about his recovery.
It's been 10 months since the deadly shooting at Abundant Life Christian School, and Sammy Garduna Martinez's recovery has been slow. In a GoFundMe post, Sammy's mother says he was shot 2 or 3 times in the head, back, and arm. They call it a miracle he survived, and he's gone through extensive physical therapy as well as spine surgery. He's required a feeding tube and had a procedure on his vocal cords to help him speak. The Wisconsin State Journal says Sammy was to be discharged last spring but had a setback and remains in the hospital. Eric Bilstad, WTMJ News.
Sammy's family hoping to move him to a specialized rehab hospital near Chicago. The family's GoFundMe account has raised nearly $100,000 this week.
A woman who stabbed her cousin in Milwaukee's South Side last month is now facing first-degree reckless homicide charges. 19-year-old Ray Gianna Hall is accused of killing Jaquavion Wright at a home near the Mitchell Park Domes. Prosecutors say the two had an argument about getting a job at Taco Bell. According to the criminal complaint, Hall admitted to police about the stabbing, but later said she didn't mean to do it and that it was self-defense. If convicted, she could face up to 60 years in prison.
A national campaign to reduce gun violence is advocating for local change. Guns Down America encouraging Great Lakes region businesses to pledge local investments and ban guns from their stores. Executive Director Hudson Munoz tells WTMJ's Point Taken.
Neighborhoods that are more socially connected have 21% less murders. You see 20% less motor vehicle theft in more connected communities. Neighborhood cohesion is one of the strongest deterrents for burglary, and nonprofits that are locally focused and involved create those stronger communities.
Munoz says 8 Wisconsin businesses have joined the pledge so far and hopes for more to join by Small Business Saturday in November.
Skepticism is growing at Milwaukee City Hall over plans to redevelop a downtown parking garage into a mass timber high-rise.
That skepticism is led by Alderman Bob Bauman, who told the Zoning, Neighborhoods, and Development Committee Tuesday developer Neutral can't deliver on plans to build a 55-story skyscraper on the current site of the Marcus Center parking garage. Bauman's concerns follow a pause on a separate Neutral development, the 31-story Edison, which is currently being reevaluated for cost-saving purposes. Bauman wants to restart the request for proposals process on the Marcus site. A decision by the committee could come within 30 days. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
And a recall for freeze-dried fruit that might contain sharp metal pieces. Georgia Nut Company recalling some varieties of its True Frou freeze-dried strawberries sold at CVS, Kroger, Target, and other stores, and even online across the country. No issues have been reported yet. Visit WTMJ.com for more details on which products are affected.
We're looking ahead to Game 3 for the Brewers. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake, tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Caladora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen, explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Milwaukee Brewers one win away from the NLCS after Monday night's win over the Cubs.
Kicks and deals. Slider struck him out. Uribe strikes out the side. He puts it in the holster, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead in the division series.
Jeff Levering with the call Monday night. Game 3 scheduled for a 4:08 first pitch Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley. 2 games on the playoff scoreboard today. Blue Jays will advance to the ALCS with a win over the Yankees, and the series between the Tigers and Mariners all tied up at 1 game apiece. Game 3 tonight in Detroit.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Out in Waukesha County, we've got a disabled vehicle that is just in a rough spot, and traffic is definitely backing up because of it on 94. I-94 East, very close to the ramp from Barker. The right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. And right as I say that, we've got something else that just popped up. Let me take a peek at what this one is. Nope, they're saying that one has now cleared. Okay, so that's interesting. All right. As we go to 41 here, we're also seeing delays in our construction zone. That's typical, though. The one thing that is not typical that I am seeing, 41 from the zoo down to about Lincoln Avenue. I'm seeing some serious backups there. Not an extended part of 41, but it is significant. No crashes or disabled vehicles being reported, but I am seeing the backup.
Sun is shining, and it will do so again tomorrow. That's good news here. 65 the high, 39 your overnight low, just 60 degrees for your Wednesday, 62 and sunny on Thursday, 66 partly cloudy on Friday. It's 64 and sunny in Milwaukee at 2:39.
It's Tech Tuesday with ABC News technology reporter Mike Dubusky.
We're not sure if he will be a judge in the upcoming AI beauty pageant, but he is our guest every Tuesday on Tech Tuesday.
The latest and greatest in the world of tech.
Tesla's next product, they call it a robo-taxi. These are AR glasses. They're called simply the Frame.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
A Tech Tuesday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Always good to check in with ABC Tech expert. It's Mike Dubusky. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good. Doing great. Hey, let's talk about the world of apps here. There's a new app called Sora, which is topping the Apple's App Store charts. Been doing it for several days now. What is it, and why are people so infatuated with it?
Yeah, so Sora is a new AI tool that can be used to generate short, completely artificial videos. So it's an AI video creator in the same way that ChatGPT is an AI text creator. And in fact, it comes from the same company as ChatGPT, which is OpenAI. They make both of these apps. Sora is their latest creation, and what makes this a little bit different from your average AI video tool is that this is trying to bridge the gap between AI and social media. This is a social media app at its core. So you download Sora, you open it up on your phone after you've set up an account, and you're presented with something that looks and feels a lot like TikTok. So a lot of vertically oriented videos that you can scroll through, all completely artificially generated. You can you can comment on them, you can send them around to your friends. There's even a feature that they call cameos, where you can take your own likeness, your own face, and create an AI video out of that to make it look like you're being shot out of a cannon or being launched into space or something like that. And you can make that available to your friends as well to remix you into their own videos. So there's a big social element to this. And OpenAI says that this all runs on their latest video model, which is a lot more realistic and is able to generate videos a lot faster than before. They've been working on AI video for a few years now. All of that means that this is meant to keep up with the pace of social media, where you have an idea for a video, you quickly whip out your phone and create one, and then post it for thousands, if not millions of people to see.
So I think it was Friday, we had a local content creator on, and he was talking about Sora, and we showed probably 4 videos that he created with Sora. They were kind of wild. One of them, he gave a prompt to say, like, show me opening up a new iPhone, and it looked very real. And then he opened up the box for the iPhone, but then a kitten popped out. Very strange. He also created one that had a guy twerking on the Hone Bridge, which is a local bridge in our area. So it was wild to see, but he also talked about his quote was something like, it absolutely contributes nothing to the human race or the betterment of society. So I don't know where this kind of stuff fits in, but he did say it's impressive. I'm wondering along those lines, how does Sora prevent things like copyright violations, or is it already a mess on that front? Because he did say some things like that, like it's already just grabbing stuff that's on the internet currently.
Yeah, I think a mess is a good way to frame it. But OpenAI does say they have put in some guardrails and some restrictions around how people can use this technology. For one, that cameos feature where you can put yourself in an AI video. You can limit that to just yourself. You can limit it to your group of friends who are able to use your likeness, or you can make it available to the general public. So OpenAI transferring some of the responsibility over to the user there. In addition to that, they're watermarking all of these videos with a little Sora logo. So if someone does post a video from Sora on Instagram or on X, as we've seen happen over the last week or so, it is identifiable as an AI-generated piece of content. Of course, on the other hand, those are really easy watermarks to crop out or modify in some way. So, there are holes in this system, it should be said. In addition to that, the company says that it's prohibited the model from generating things that could be used for deceit, fraud, scams, spam, or impersonation. However, a cursory glance of the Sora feed from people who've gotten early access to this does find that there's a lot of eyebrow-raising material. So one of the early videos that went viral on Sora was security camera footage, again, completely artificial, of Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, stealing computer hardware from Target. Again, he didn't do that, to be clear. This was all made up and all artificially generated. In addition to that, there's a lot of copyrighted material on there, SpongeBob's and Pikachu's and Ronald McDonald's being made to do things that they've never done before and that presumably the copyright holders did not sign off on, meaning that there are a lot of security screws here that seem to need to be tightened.
Mike, are there different levels of access? Is there a paid-for model versus a free model?
So as of this point, it's, not necessarily something that you would need to pay for, but it is restricted in terms of who can access it. So this is exclusive to iPhones for right now, or iOS devices. Android users cannot download Sora. It's not available on their app store. And in addition, it's only invite only for now. So you kind of need to know someone in order to get access to it. There are other monetization sort of avenues for OpenAI, and they mostly do come back to subscriptions. If you want the more advanced models through ChatGPT, you can pay them, a monthly fee to get access to them. Or more advanced image creation through DALL-E 3, you can do that. Right now, it seems like the angle that OpenAI has on Sora is to create an advertising feed, right? One of the most lucrative ways to make money in Silicon Valley is to have an algorithmic feed that people go to and like and scroll through frequently that is then programmed against ads that you can then monetize. As we've said for many weeks now, these AI companies are deeply unprofitable. They don't make money. They are spending way more than they are taking in through their subscription services. So it seems like the effort to bridge the gap between social media and artificial intelligence seems to be aimed at making a social media feed that people like that then has ads in it. However, as you guys have been alluding to, it does sort of remain an open question as to whether people will actually go for that, a social media feed with no real people in it.
Well, that's really interesting because I was kind of curious what the bigger vision is here. It does seem like people are going on to Sora and having a lot of fun with it. So it makes you wonder if OpenAI is trying to become a social media company.
Yeah, certainly. I think that is kind of where they're aimed at this point. And again, it's a limited rollout for now. There are no ads in the Sora feed as it stands right now. So, that is worth mentioning. We're in the very, very early days of this. Even still, it has been proving popular. This is more popular in the App Store than the ChatGPT app, which is their flagship product. It's also more popular than competing AI apps like Google Gemini, Claude from Anthropic, and Grok from Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company. In addition to that, Meta, the company formerly known as Facebook, launched a very similar product like 2 weeks ago.
We actually recorded different words in a different conversation with Mike Dubusky. He's not even on the line with us right now, and we've prompted him with these questions, and it's just Mike's voice, but he actually is on vacation in Bermuda, so he's not even with us right now. That's kind of where we're going with this, though, Mike. That's part of the fear that it is so easily manipulatable and so intelligent that it can just create you. It can create me, Jessica, Gina producing the show, our voice, and lend it to pretty much any application, and now video.
Yeah, and that is the real concern, is that could this be used to displace people's jobs? And, obviously no one could replace the fine work that WTMJ does, of course, on air. But the broader concern here is that these tools could be used, to displace, many people in advertising, for example, or who write, copy for other purposes. Businesses, lawyers, doctors, like these are the real concerning factors here. I do think it's worth throwing a little bit of cold cold water on some of the more extreme concerns, though. Even though these AI videos are a lot more realistic than what we've seen before, they do start to fall apart under closer examination. The movement doesn't look correct. Water doesn't fall properly. Even still, they have trouble generating images of words, text, and billboards and that sort of thing. So it's not like this thing is close to replicating an actual video from your phone's camera. And the larger concern is that, again, these companies are unprofitable. They're not making money. Eventually, the bills are going to come due, right? Like, they're going to need to have a hit product that makes money. And right now, it seems like they're pretty far away from that.
I feel like there are so many ethical questions, too, because I was having this conversation about a week or so ago. So say these SOAR videos do get amazingly good, and you can't tell that anything is AI about them. If you are using that in the workplace in a creative function, I was talking to somebody and she said, I feel like if I can I'm using AI and I can do things so much quicker now. So what do I bill the client? But it's very interesting because she was saying I can do it so much quicker now. Like, as far as the time billing, it should be different, right? And then I've talked to other people who are saying, nope, that must be an older person thinking like that, because no, you can just do things more efficiently and you bill the same.
Yeah, right. Like, that's another question, is how do you, as a user of this technology, monetize your own product, right? Especially if you bill by the hour like that. That's an open question. I think that's still something that, given how new this technology is, we really haven't figured out. I think another question is, like, is the AI generated content that you're now putting out there of the same caliber as the human generated content that you made before? Sure, it's great to make something faster, but is that, of the same quality? I think this is something that you see often in the education space, right? These tools are generally see a little bit more use in September and the fall when kids start going back to school. It's because they're using it, ideally to help with their homework, hopefully not to like completely do their homework, but certainly that is the concern. And, that is stuff that doesn't necessarily need to be perfect. It's meant to be graded and meant to, help you along with your learning process. That's a real concern there is that this stuff isn't perfect, but its imperfection does fit nicely into certain parts of our society, like, homework and things like that. And that does, raise some major concerns going forward about, whether people are actually learning.
As long as Sora is better than Siri, I'll be happy and amused. Siri's the worst thing ever created by Apple. ABC's Mike Dubusky. We always appreciate it, Mike. Thank you for joining us.
Of course, guys. Take care.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Hey, if you're looking to beautify your home's interior right around the windows, I urge you to connect with Bumblebee Blinds Milwaukee. Such wonderful people, expert advice, made easy, custom blinds and window treatments, and designed to fit your style and needs. Your house, your decor is different than your neighbor's. That means your window treatments would likely be different than your neighbor's. Color, functionality, how much light do you want to let in while blocking out and making sure that you're also staying private? Well, Bumblebee Blinds can help you with custom blinds, expert advice, and stress-free installation. Wonderful people at Bumblebee Blinds Milwaukee. And expert design consultations, it's all made very easy. Easy way to refresh your home is by adding window treatments, and Bumblebee Blinds makes the process easy and efficient. They'll do everything right at your home, in-home consultations, design ideas. Let them work with you on designing a project for high-quality blinds and professional guidance. Stress-free installation. Book now with Bumblebee Blinds Milwaukee.
They saved over $50,000 after we sold their home at only 1.9%. You don't have to pay 6% to market and sell your home. Hundreds of Century 21 Benefit Realty clients will attest. You can get it all for only 1.9%. The more value your home has, the more important it is to find the best real estate commission and the marketing ability to get top dollar. And with Century 21 behind us, that's what we have. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. Half a century of marketing expertise joined with over 20 years of local market knowledge. Not to mention the savings you'll see after you get our best commission right up front, which, by the way, is only 1.9% on the listing side of your home. Join that together and you can be sure that you've chosen the right real estate experts who have the experience to market your home effectively and give you a commission that'll end up paying for things like new furniture. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but despite what a certain national online company tells you, a car is not one of them.
Let's see. Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. Green 4-door hatchback. We're gonna need some more quarters.
Sure, they make it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, and unlike those national companies, you get to see the vehicle in person and test drive it before you buy it. You also have the assurance that the vehicle's been thoroughly tested, and if any issue does come up, your local Adam member dealer is right here to service it and can also provide low financing and top dollar for your trade. Think about that before you take the chance with their so-called vending machine.
What? It's stuck. No! Oh, rats.
Start your search at adamm.com.
Numbers are in for the 43rd Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon. Took place over the weekend. Woo, it was a hot one for those runners.
No doubt. That's a real thing, right? You got sunny conditions, temperatures approaching 80 degrees. It got warmer as the day went on, of course. That's a little steamy. Any runner will tell you that.
So the numbers just came out today. So we now know this year's event featured a sold-out half marathon with 3,500 registered runners and a combined 6,000 participants across the marathon and half marathon distances. And those people, they came from 47 states and 9 countries.
That is the amazing part to me. And you could do a similar story on the Nashville Marathon or the Boston Marathon, right? That's more of a worldly marathon. But nevertheless, you have so many people around this world who want to run a marathon in every state or a half marathon in every state or like the fall conditions. So I'll go to Wisconsin, never been there before. The community of runners is a really unique and special group.
Also, you had a lot of people who just wanted to go over the Hone Bridge.
Well, that too.
and for a
cool,
good cause,
right?
because
Definitely.
Saturday's 5K and Walk the Hone event drew more than 1,500 runners and walkers, kicking off the weekend in high spirits for sure. But it was interesting because I kind of wanted to see, okay, considering we have people from 47 states and 9 countries, who was winning? Who was winning, right? And I guess I'm sure there are more people from Wisconsin, obviously, so this might make sense. But I thought we might see some of the winners be from other places, maybe other countries. But when it comes to the ladies, the first place lady in the marathon from Sussex, Wisconsin. In second place, Pewaukee. Third place, Glendale. When it comes to the men, it was a guy from Park Ridge, Illinois, who came in first. But then right after that, a man from Franklin, and then Alex Francis from Milwaukee. Half marathon, that was a little bit of a mixed bag. You had the number one finisher for the women. She was from Plano, Texas. But then right after that, somebody from Wauwatosa, another from Sun Prairie. And then when it came to the men, Greg, the top 2 finishers for the half marathon were from our area. The third one was from Minnesota.
Yeah, the winning time in the half marathon is in hour 8. That is pretty remarkable. And under 3 hours for the winner of the men's marathon and the women's marathon. I feel like anything under 4 hours is really incredible. Just lasting 26.2 miles is pretty remarkable. These are fantastic times and obviously elite runners. That's impressive stuff.
And in case you're planning for next year, maybe you loved it so much or you missed it and you don't want to miss it next year, the 44th Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon Weekend will take place October 3rd through the 4th of 2026. Circle it on
We
your
are
calendar.
back again tomorrow here with Wisconsin's Midday News, leading you up to Brewers baseball, Game 3 of the NLDS from Chicago. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next here on WTMJ.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd